Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called Educement. It was written by Matthew Sanderson, and it's available in the Blasphemous Tome, issue number 10. Matthew is also our game master, and this is the first time that we have run this one-shot. So, without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Matthew.
Right, thank you very much, Tom. As a way by a slightly canned introduction here, none of you remember who you are. You know that you have certain skills, but how you acquired them is a mystery. The singular memory you have feels recent. It's like a lone photograph on the last page of an otherwise empty album. What you see before you in that memory starts to melt before your eyes, almost like the paints of an oil painting that sort of swirl and merge together. It leaves you feeling nauseous for a second as everything starts to spin around you and starts to reform. And you find yourselves all in what appears to be a church. There's bright stained glass windows dotted around the walls, but outside it's dark. So you've got the lights inside from candles and from candelabra and other lights which are illuminating the place. But otherwise, looking around, besides your individual selves, there are 4 other people here. We'll do a quick round robin to describe, so you can describe what your outward appearance looks like. So for the purposes of this, we'll refer to you by player name, as none of you remember your character names as yet. So we'll start with Tom. What do you look like?
Well, I'm actually quite good looking. I am 26 years old. I have kind of strawberry blonde hair and green eyes. I'm taller than average. I'm thin, muscular, not overly muscular. I could be possibly a supermodel, but I don't recall being a supermodel. I'm not sure who I am at all. And I'm well dressed.
Gotcha. Right. Next round, Nathan. What do you look like?
All right. Kind of on the opposite side of that, 65-ish, you think maybe, old man, bit of a paunch on him, and not much hair, just a little clinging to the side. He's kind of looking at his hands. You can see they're a little twitchy just with age.
Good. And Riley, over to you.
I sort of physically evoke imagery of a desk because I'm short and wide. My clothing sort of betrays a level of musculature that you wouldn't necessarily expect on someone who's as small as I am. But I sort of still stand pretty tall and pretty proud of myself. Otherwise, not particularly noteworthy beyond that. Yeah.
Good. And David.
I'm a muscular fellow, 40-ish, kind of regular looking, but husky. Clearly my hands indicate that I work with them. A little taller, a little broader of shoulder than most folks, but kind of a blank beyond that.
All right, last but not least, John.
Yeah, I'm a younger guy, like about 20s, or maybe early 30s looking. I'm somewhat handsome, rather handsome, and I'm constitutable. Like I, look like I'm kind of rugged, like I can, been around the block a little bit, can get through the woods, that kind of thing, no problem.
Gotcha. So that is the scene that you see before you. You have these individuals around you. You're stood roughly in a circle in the middle of the main aisle of the church, between the stone pillars that hold up the roof, and its nice vaulted ceilings. Otherwise, there's no sound. There's just the 5 of you.
We're standing in the middle of the center aisle.
How are we dressed?
That is completely up to you.
All right. So I'm probably wearing jeans and a flannel shirt over a t-shirt or something.
Gentlemen, I'm not sure how I got here or who we are or where we are. I'm quite confused. I might be on something.
I share. I share that reality. I'll start walking towards the altar, genuflect, and just go kneel at it.
Oh, you're Catholic. How do I know that?
It's instinct. I'll pull out my little crucifix chain as well while I do this.
Is there a big pipe organ in the church?
Yeah, there certainly can be.
Maybe we were in some kind of accident. Right?
What do you mean?
Is the ground wet or is there blood on the floor?
Well, I just mean, I don't know how I got here or
Last thing I remember, I was like on a glacier or something. It was very cold. And then suddenly I'm here. Like
I was in the desert.
Okay. So we've got two opposite ends of the spectrum there.
Remember a desert, but I remember a hill and fields and.
All right, we've got 3 different biomes going already.
Okay.
Let me ask: Have you ever been on a spirit journey?
What's that? Like on the airplane?
And not well.
like an
I
Indian
don't
thing.
quite remember. Not exactly. Mostly just drugs, I think.
Like maybe I've tried that before, but I can't remember honestly.
I probably have done drugs, though I can't recall anything.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I don't even know who I am. I'm hot.
Oh fuck! I can't remember what
How do
my
you know
name
that
is.
without a mirror? That's incredible. You
I
are
mean,
correct.
Look at
though.
my skin. I must be applying lotion all the time.
I'm gonna have a look outside the church door.
I'll go with you. Sometimes they put the name of the church on the outside of the.
Good thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wander down the aisle, you get to the intersection, the middle where the font is. You take a turn, and there's a big set of double wooden doors ahead of you. You reach out, grab the handle. Roll me a d6, please.
Do I do that because I'm with him, or
Just whoever's opening the door.
Okay.
It's a 4.
4, okay. Right, you open the door, which you fully expect would go outside, and the door opens up into another room. In fact, a room that looks quite distinctively obvious as to what it is. You've got it's large and rectangular. There are lots of desks that go off at regular intervals with plenty of nice, comfortable chairs, not like sofas lined up against them, but at least comfortable, functional chairs sat in front of them. And all the walls are lined with books. This looks like a library of some description.
Why would this looks like the front door to you, right?
well, yeah, but is it like a church in a monastery that's connected to a library that might be connected to other things? Maybe it's not a public.
This looks more like an academic institution. This looks like
Yeah.
maybe like a university library.
Yeah, so a Catholic university library.
How is this room lit?
Also lit by what seem to be like desk lights. There are strip lights overhead. Outside also, there are big windows, not stained glass here, but also reveals a night sky outside, which overlooks what seems to be rolling sand dunes going off into the distance.
I was hoping for a town.
Well, I mean, a university can be a fairly large place, so maybe we're just in the middle of the place somewhere.
Do I feel like I've ever been in the desert anywhere? Do I know what it would feel like to try to walk across a sand dune?
Nothing springs to mind
No.
immediately for yourself, but for Thom, you mentioned about a desert.
Yeah, I mean, I must have
right.
walked in here from out there.
Do you have like sand in your cuffs or anything?
Do I have on slip-ons, nice shoes, but I'll pull one off and shake it and see if there's any sand.
No, nothing scatters to the floor, but
Nothing.
you definitely do remember a desert, and there is one extending outside the library.
I seem to recall being on the top of a sand dune, and the sand started sliding. Something.
Did you get pulled? Did you fall down?
Well, I was looking over the sand dune, and I remember something coming out of the sky and hitting the ground way far behind me. And then all the sand started sliding towards it. I don't know whether I slid down the sand dune or if I fell off the edge. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid to fall off the edge.
So I had a similar thing, but like I said, on my glacier, like something like came out of the sky. It like it was a blinding light that struck the glacier, crack spread through the ice, and then like it all fractured, and I think I fell. I don't know. It's the last thing I remember. So it's kind of like the same thing you described, but on a glacier instead of the desert.
Right, but it looks like we're in a desert because instead of it being outside through the front door, it's like a library, and outside the window, it's the desert.
Well, and there are certain things that we seem to know instinctually. That's church. That's those are stained glass windows. That's an organ. We know that's a church. This looks like a library. What kind of books do they have? Is it a collection of some sort? Something by the author? I can't think of an author.
It's easy enough to check. Just pop one.
I mean, I can't think of any author.
How about? Oh,
I'm going to walk over and look at the books.
Pull a book out. Yeah.
Is there another door out of the library?
Yeah, there's a few doors. You can see there's another one right at the far end.
Yeah,
there's a couple that go off in either direction from there.
I would like to be outside, so I'm going to go a beeline across.
Okay, so you're going straight across. Meanwhile, Thom, Nathan start having a look through various books. There's not any one subject that's covered here. It's not like exclusively theology or exclusively architecture. It is a reference library. There are plenty of subjects here divided up into different bookcases, so they all have their own specific sections, arranged by Dewey Decimal, so it's fairly easy to find everything in here.
But we understand the concept of the like natural world or what that. We just don't remember.
Yeah, correct.
Our relationship to it. Okay.
So it's important when you have a situation like this that you remain calm. I remember that much at least. Let's put things back at where we are and just don't think about having a bad trip.
I don't think we're currently tripping.
I don't think it's bad. I'm not really nervous about it. It's just a little confused.
Good. Yeah.
I'm going to walk over to the window and look out. I'm like right up against the window looking out.
Okay, so you have a wander outside as David's going across to open the next door. Just checking what's Riley doing.
So I want to look around this church a bit more. Is there a confessional booth in here?
Yes.
I would like to go up to the confessional booth and see if the father is in there. If he's not, I'm going to look for the vestry, which is just another room that would be attached to the church somehow.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can certainly go over to the confessional. Can both you and David both roll me a d6, please?
I rolled a 2.
1.
Right. Just making a quick couple of notes here. And that was a 2 from Riley. Right. So David walks over to the far end, opens the door up, and this again leads to a very different location. It opens up into what you could best describe as a theatre. There's a row of steps going down in front of you that lead between the rows of seats, and then there's a raised stage at the far end with a curtain backdrop falling down behind it, and windows that you can see going off to the left and right show that there are, again, a night sky outside, but then just rolling fields going off into the distance. When Riley opens the door to the confessional, rather than finding a confessional inside, it opens up into this corridor where you can see there are rows of trophies that line one wall in a glass cabinet, and there's a door at the far end. There are also windows again going opposite the glass cabinet. Beyond that, you can see a city extending off into the distance where all the lights have gone out as if there's some power cut. Looks a bit familiar to you.
Hellfire. Hellfire. The city was bathed in hellfire. I'm going to run through the corridor straight to the other door and try and get away from this scene as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you start running like crazy. What's David doing?
I really want to get outside. Handsome guy, can you open that window?
I don't know. Let me see.
Because it's not desert on this. We're in, like, I don't know, the countryside. There's a theater and it's in the countryside. It can't. Maybe they're not windows. Maybe it's like a projection
Or a painting,
What?
like a stage production play.
Yeah.
Is the window openable, or is it like?
Yeah, the windows are certainly openable. And as Tom, you said you were going over to the window and having a look out into the desert.
Right.
Can you give me a spot hidden roll while you're doing that?
Sure. 03. I like that kind of a roll.
That's good. Right. We pull up because you'll certainly get a few things for that. Okay. Yep. With an extreme success, there's at least one follow-up roll you can give me as well. There's working from the most obvious up. You see off to the right, off to the left-hand side, maybe about 200 yards off in the distance, but over rolling set of dunes, you can see a light that's pulsing on the ground, but it's where it is emanating from is partially obscured. In the opposite direction, so going off to the right, again about 200 yards in that direction, something odd is shaped about the land, that it almost just seems to end, that there's just the night sky, but there's no impression of the dunes going over towards any kind of horizon. It's a weird depth perception problem. You think maybe an optical illusion, maybe that there's a height of a dune is obscuring the horizon, but you almost instinctively know that just it's almost like the end of the world.
Right, the edge
at that point, the edge of existence.
Huh.
I like
then,
yeah. I was just gonna say, like we were on the top of a plateau and it just drops off and you can't see it.
Exactly like that.
Weird.
And then with an extreme success, you can see something moving up ahead, or what directly almost above you, weaving its way between the stars, so as if to remain black on black, trying to hide in the shadows. There is something flying and gliding up there, trying to remain hidden. And this thing, you think it looks vaguely humanoid. You can catch there's definitely 2 arms, 2 legs, but almost wings that extend off from either side. But apart from that, you don't get enough detail to, thankfully, to worry about sanity rolls as yet. But there's something up there, and you get this impression that it's looking down at you.
Yeah, I think we might be tripping. This is
I don't.
This is an extremely vivid hallucination, but I think I'm seeing things that can't really be real, or they're optical illusions.
Now, because you saw that light off in the distance as well, can I have an opposed PAL roll from you?
I got an 11, which is an extreme.
Right. I also have an extreme on a 15.
Okay.
My PAL's 100. I'm thinking it's going to beat the tie.
My PAL is 60.
You feel a compulsion to go towards that light.
There's something over on the left outside the building. Like, I can't see it. I can see it. Imagine a street light that's flickering off and on, and it's casting light on the ground off and on.
Is the sand close enough? Can you go down through the window?
Yeah, it's like
maybe.
you're on a ground floor level, so you can easily climb out the window and start walking.
Is it this kind of a window open, or is it this kind of a window?
Yeah, we'll go with the first.
Okay.
That sounds like a good one.
I turn the handles and I open it up. What's the temperature like?
It's nice and warm. It's not oppressively hot.
It's not too hot outside.
Okay, just hold on, handsome. I want to lean out the theater window where it looks different and see if I can see you leaning out that window. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Because it doesn't seem like we're in the same place, right? So I just want to go to the.
Should we? You calling me handsome? I kind of like that, but we could just. Joe, call me Joe.
Okay, Joe. Do you think that's your name?
I don't think so. It's the first name that popped into my head.
All right. Jesus.
Come to think of it, I don't like that name, but whatever.
Is there anything in my pockets?
Is there? What are you looking for?
Well, first I thought like a pencil or a scrap paper. Then I thought, what if I had a wallet? That would really be calming to have a name and some money.
Okay. You pat yourself down. There doesn't appear to be any wallet there.
Okay. Is there anything at all? Is it chewing gum? Is there a key? Is there change?
If you're looking for something like chewing gum, give me a PAL roll.
$25 is a hard success.
Okay. Yeah, you find a half empty pack of chewing gum, or maybe half full, depending on how your outlook on life is.
Right now, I'm more of a half empty kind of amnesiac.
Oh, maybe slightly reduced. You can cross off 1 magic point for that.
Hey, Joe, are you still Joe? You seemed uncertain.
Oh no, I don't know. That feels just really weird to me. But just call me that for now, rather than handsome.
I'm like, that's good thinking though, and I see him go through his pockets. I'm going to go through my pockets too. Do I have anything on me, or are my pockets empty?
Are you looking for anything in particular?
No, I'm just trying to see if is there anything in my pockets?
Okay, give me a PAL roll as well.
Okay.
I'll just feel for a wallet.
I got a 1.
Okay.
We're rolling well tonight. Good.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, maybe depending on how you use it. Give me a D6.
Okay. That's a 6.
Okay. Cross off 6 magic points, and you have 6. You have a bundle of 6 sticks of dynamite that you pull out of your pocket. That you think bizarrely this couldn't have possibly fit inside my pocket as you pull it out of the opening.
What
are those flares?
Nope. This is I know exactly. I know exactly what this is. Why do I know exactly what this is? I'm like, yeah, this is like, and I give you like the kind of dynamite it is. I explain like who made it or like what country it's from or whatever. I'm like, there's 6 sticks of it. It looks like it's, I assume these are like operable if you had like a way to, light them.
Oh, there's a fuse. So
candles.
if you have some, yeah.
There's
Right.
candles
If you have like if somebody has fire, these would be ready to go. I'm like, okay, we'll be very careful with those.
You're manifesting your reality. You
So-
have an explosive truth within you
I didn't
that
manifest.
it is trying to burst out. It's a clear sign. You didn't have those a moment ago, did you?
I mean, I must have stuffed them in my pocket somehow. I mean, shit. I don't know if I don't know how I even fit them all in there. But
So
Where's the Catholic guy?
he's still in the church. Mac, are we going to do this little experiment you wanted to do?
Sure, Mac. I'll be Mac. All right. Yeah.
That compulsion that Joe was having to go out of the window is growing.
Yeah,
To the point you almost find yourself wanting to climb out the window.
I'm ready. I want to step out and see if he
Yeah.
can see me. But I also want to see what that flashing light is.
Meanwhile, running man Riley runs down the corridor. Roll me a d6 when you get to the other end.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. Right. So you throw open the door, and for a second, it takes you a moment to realize exactly where you are. It's a fairly dark room, apart from one part of it is illuminated. And the section that's illuminated looks like a large, almost like stage, that it's very clear. There's a colorful backdrop. There's a table laid out in the middle of it, around which there are a set of stands that are all pointed in that one direction, that as your eyes are become accustomed to the dark, look like large film cameras. This looks like some kind of film set.
This is not natural. I'd like to reach into my pocket to try and find my rosary beads.
Okay. Give me a power roll.
I've rolled a failure.
Okay. You search desperately. You can't feel anything in your pocket.
Okay. This is brave Sir Robin time. I'm going to run back towards the vague direction of everyone else to safety in numbers time.
Yeah, you can hear noise kind of filtering through. You're a few locations away, so you run back through the trophy room, into the church, and then into the library, where the others are milling there. And that's where Joe is by the window.
There's the church guy.
Prayers are answered, Mac.
Where?
Mac, I'm going out the window. And I'm going to sit on the sill and then flip my legs out and step down onto the sand.
Yep. You land, and it's nice and soft underfoot.
Can I see him through the theater window?
If you look through the theater window, give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh, 60. Oh, I don't know what my spot hidden is.
Well, do you wish to put any points into it? Because you have the allocation of your skill points. So from the list you have, do you wish to allocate any of those values to it?
Well, I do. I will not be able to make it successful now, however. There's no way to get to 67 from where I am.
Do you wish to burn any luck?
Well, I need to see what's outside. All right, so my spot hidden is now 60. And
do you want to? Do you want to? That's the question in itself.
Well, Mac wants to know where the hell he is. So yes, I have a regular success.
Okay, so you look outside. So in the theatre, you're looking over rolling fields, starry sky above you, and with a regular success, you don't see Joe going out of any part of any building. In fact, the outside of the building here looks like the outside of some kind of performing arts center. But you do notice off about 200 yards off to your left, there is some kind of light that you can see. And can you also give me an opposed power roll?
I have a regular.
Hey, my hard on 46 beats you. You also feel a compulsion to climb out of the window and head towards that light.
So I'm, leaning back in. Hippie, I can't see Joe, but I can see the light he's talking about. So maybe I'm going to go out and see if I can catch up with him.
Yeah, chase your truth. Chase your truth, Mac. We'll follow along once we figure out where we're at here, I think. And boy, I feel like you gotta light that stick you got there.
What?
Oh, you have this dynamite, you gotta light it.
It's 6 of them, and you don't just go around lighting dynamite willy-nilly. You want to blow somebody up?
It's you're having a vision. This is a vision. They're chasing their truth out the window. We see our friend here, our very religious friend.
I'm gonna pinch myself. I'm like, this feels very real. I don't think we're in a vision.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
Right. So you are inflicting a minor degree of physical harm upon yourself.
You're pinch me, I'm dreaming kind of thing. Just
give me a power roll, please.
Okay. Let's see if I get the mark of the Necronomicon again. Nope, just the 12 this time.
12. So that's a.
That is just a hard.
Do you want to spend any luck to make it an extreme, or are you happy with a hard?
Sure. I'll spend 2 luck.
Okay. For a second, it takes you a while to realize exactly what's going on here. You hear machinery, there's pings and whirs and whisses around you that are on the very periphery of your senses. And even though it feels like you're looking at the room around you, maybe you instinctively close your eyes as you pinch, trying to focus. And it's almost as if when your eyelids shut, you can feel this intense light coming down upon you that you can see even through your closed eyelids. But you also realize you're not standing up, you're laying down, you're actually flat on your back. Your hands are heavy. They feel like they're almost wrapped in bandages down by your side. And that you can feel there's something over your face and going down your throat.
Oh.
And when you flick open your eyes, there are figures that are standing around you wearing surgical masks, looking down through this bright light surrounding you, looking with wide eyes in what look to be a combination of bewilderment, maybe terror and confusion. As you glance down, following their direction, their gaze, to where you see your bare chest exposed before you, where there are what look like a series of welts. There's about 3 of them that you can see over your chest and going down to your abdomen, roughly circular, that have almost like a sphincter appearance. This opens up, some of them open up and pulse and close, contracting irregularly. But one in particular you see, when it opens, you can see straight down the hole, and it goes down further than you should physically be able to see. This extends way beyond the confines of your body, just keeping on going through flesh infinitum. Can you give me a sanity roll, please?
Yeah, sure. It definitely sounds like one is merited. That's a failure with a 57.
Okay, D4, please.
Okay. 1.
Okay. Right, that's enough to almost snap you back to reality, or at least back to the room you're in. But you also feel now there's some itchy or some kind of movement on your chest.
I mean, if I look under my shirt now, do I see anything?
There's the same welts that you saw with this opening that goes through you.
It's still there.
Well, it's there now, but there's only one there. You saw at least 3.
Okay.
But there's only one that you see at the minute.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, now I'm really concerned. This is definitely not a vision. I try to pinch myself, like when you're dreaming, and then I suddenly I was on some table, and there were these guys that were working on me, and there was a tube down my throat, and there were these holes on my chest that were just like that, way deeper than they should be. And I think there's one on me now, but there was more on me when I was seeing the people. So I'm kind of freaking out here.
Hey, let's get you some water. You're having a bad trip.
No, this is not. No. This is not a trip.
We're gonna find you something to fill your stomach a little bit. There's gonna be a vending machine around here somewhere, I bet. And he'll just start looking for a vending machine.
Okay, you're in the library. Yeah, I'd say there'd be a vending machine for students there, so there'd be one tucked away in the corner. Meanwhile, we've got Joe beautiful guy and David heading out towards the light in their different respective outside environments. Yeah. Checking what Riley's doing.
I think we're in hell, or at the very least some level of purgatory. And I've just seen these people, like I've seen the beautiful one just get out of a window and start walking towards talking about some sort of light. I think it is my Christian duty to go and follow him and try to bring him back to safety.
Okay, which one, just to make sure?
Out of the library window.
Okay, so that's Thom.
Thom, yes.
Joe.
Okay, you can jump out, not a problem, and you are running towards him to try and restrain him and bring him back. Give me a luck roll.
I rolled a 2.
You're fine. Yeah, means that you do not. You're focused pretty much entirely on him. You don't notice the light that he's going towards.
By the time he jumps out the window too, I'm probably
you've got a hefty head start on me. Yeah,
and I do want to look back and see what the building looks like that we were in.
It looks like a singular structure, not that big. Looks like a stone exterior, could be again one of a million different libraries or structures that of some academic institution. But there's no church attached to it at one end. There's just the library as a single building.
That's damn weird. Now where I am, it's sand on the ground. Is it rolling still? Like rolling? Okay. So I want to kind of move to a position where I can see around the corner where the light's coming from. But I have a funny feeling that I should be a little bit concerned about what's making the light. So I'm like ready to run back to the library if whatever it is scares me.
Yeah, there's nothing here that seems to worry you or scare you. If anything, this light appears quite beautiful, quite radiant and colourful.
At least it's safe, yeah.
But Riley's coming forward and is trying to rugby tackle you or hold you.
Wait!
From what
Stop!
I can tell.
What do you want?
Why did you leave the group?
Well, Joe, did the other guy, Mac, could he see me? I wasn't waiting. He said he was going to look out the other one. He was going to look out the other window. Well, he was just going to look out the other window.
This is one of Satan's tricks. We need to get back inside where it is safe. There is safety in numbers. We need to go back inside now.
Satan, what's that? And I'll point up at the sky where I think that I can see a winged man in the darkness.
There's something flying around up there. You can both give me a spot hidden roll to see if you catch any particular details about it.
It's at this point that I would like to make my spot hidden 60.
Okay.
27. Did I miss something about the skills? What points do we have to allocate?
Yep. You have the list of points that I put in Discord originally, that whenever you make a roll, you can choose which one of those to allocate to a particular skill.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll go look while we're playing here. I got 27, which
I would like to spend 8 luck to make my success an extreme.
2 luck. 2 luck and I can pass.
Okay. Yeah, with a regular, because you'd already seen it, you'd be able to see it again.
There.
Whereas with Riley's case, Yeah, you get a bit more detail on this, and it's quite appropriate. You see this actually with your how you're portraying your character. You can give me a sanity roll when you see that this thing up above looks down at you, where there should be a face, and there is just this blank with two horns rising up either side of it, as this gargoyle-like thing is up there, looking down into your very soul.
Beelzebub. I rolled a 16 on my sanity, which is a success.
Okay, I think you're good on a fail. Let me double check. Yep, 0. So react as you so wish.
I see you, demon. I'll reach down my necklace. Be gone. I'll start backing up towards the library.
It does not appear to react.
Can
just circles.
Can I, now that I'm looking at it rather calmly, can I use an occult roll to see if I recognize what it should be or what it is?
You can give me an occult roll.
Okay. I got a 12 out of that was the one that I chose. So out of 70, that is an unextreme.
And there's definitely the obvious connotation here is gargoyle or demon. This
like in old icons, the little black demon thing with the wings and the horns.
Yeah, except the blank face is posing. That's an anomaly.
Yeah,
there's nothing that you can think of that really kind of corresponds to that. Normally they have twisted features, the kind of hooked nose, angular eyes, very features that would make it easier to chisel them into concrete or stone.
But it's got a long pointy tail.
It's definitely got a long tail with something on the end of it.
Yeah. Huh. Some sort of gargoyle or demon. It's not doing anything, so I think we're tripping. We're having a bad trip or a weird trip.
I am a good Christian. I am straight edge. I take nothing.
When's the last time you went to church?
The only alcohol that flows inside my veins is the Holy Communion wine.
How much of that do you drink?
Only the sip that is gifted to me every Sunday.
So, okay, well, I kind of want to go see what that light is over there.
We've woken up in this expanse that you somehow recognize. Is that right?
Well, I mean, kinda. There wasn't anything in the desert that I was in, and I was kind of on the edge of eternity, if you will. It dropped off into nothingness. But
perhaps you've heard the call of God. Maybe your path is ministry.
I don't know about
if you've
that.
Had such a strong vision.
If God wants me, he can show up and talk to me directly and not just be mysterious.
God shows up and talks to you in many different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next thing you're going to tell me you're God, and this is all. Yeah, I don't like gods that are kind of tricky, because that doesn't seem like God would be in any way tricky or mysterious. He'd just be straightforward and boom. I'm going to go see what that light is.
That God wants to tell us we can't handle as mere humans.
Oh, maybe, but I'm going to go see what the light is. I'll come back inside afterwards, but I want to see what it is.
I can't let you do this. At least alone. I can't let you do this at least alone. It wouldn't be right.
Well, what about the other guy?
If you are so concerned, if I leave you, you're just going to go and then. Oh fuck!
Look,
can you stay here for a minute?
All right,
give me a minute. Let me run back.
I'm going to call you Buddy, okay? Because I don't know. Do you know what your name is?
No, I have no idea.
All right, you call me Joe. I'll call you Buddy. Sounds like a song by that guy. What the hell?
Okay. Just give me a minute. I'll come back and we'll go together. I don't want you facing this alone, but I don't want the other guy to get taken by Satan either. I'll be back, and I'll run off towards the library.
I know that name, Satan.
Right, so Buddy runs off back towards the library. I'll go back to Dave in a few minutes because no one's stopping you, so you're going to wander straight through the outside environment there in the fields to get to where you're going.
Calling out, Joe! Joe!
Joe does not hear you.
I don't see him, right?
No.
Yeah.
You don't see him and you don't hear him. So just to quickly then check, what's Nathan and John doing at this point?
Hey, where did the others go off to? I think they probably want to hear this.
Hear what?
What I just told you.
Oh, calm down. I'm just getting these
Look,
hey,
and I'm gonna
hey,
try
let's-
to lift up my shirt and show him like the hole.
Oh, you lift up your shirt and yeah, there's this sphincter-like opening that you can see tighten and relax and open. And as it does so, you can see this hole at one point when it opens wide enough, you can almost see this hole extend a meter through him and what should be out the back, but it just continues going on and on. You can also give me a sand check, please.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. 48 under 80.
Okay, it's disconcerting, but not sanity shattering.
And he kind of gets up and leans over your chest. How about that? Well, that's
I'm so
that.
yeah.
No,
We're
it
not
makes
tripping.
sense. No. You just gotta read the way it is. You've got a hole to fill inside you. What are you missing in
right
your
now.
life?
We gotta go find the. Where did they walk off to?
Oh, they went out the window.
All right, let's go. Let's try to follow them.
Okay, but do you want one of these almond joys?
You have almond joys?
I went to the machine and I knocked against it. I don't know how I knew to do that, but yeah, I purloined a couple of these.
Sure, thanks.
Hey, call me Almond.
Okay.
At which point, David is wandering through the fields, going over the rolling hills towards this light in the distance. Because no one is there to try and stop you, this is going to hurt. First of all, can I get to the list of what you lose here. Can you give me a D3 to begin with?
Are the rolling hills grassy?
They are grassy, yes. Nice
Yeah,
and
it's
lush
not
grass and fields.
the 2.
Okay. I'm going to keep a running total here for you so I can just give you the total amount when it finally adds up.
Is the light flickering or constant?
It's flickering slightly, but as you realize it's flickering, it's because the color is changing, almost as if it's like a TV set that's showing different scenes or different colors and images.
Can I see it even in the valleys between the rolling hills? Or do I just see?
Not as yet. You will do. That's the maybe the bit you don't want to. Can you then give me a D6?
4.
Okay, so that's a rolling total of 6. And a D10, please.
That's a 6.
Okay, so total of 12. As you start working your way closer, maybe you're not fixating on it too much, or maybe you're putting it out of your mind because you just have this compulsion, this urge to go closer and closer and closer towards this light until up until the last minute you finally realize what this is. It's almost like staring into the light of an anglerfish. This thing has drawn you closer to it, to the point where you have put aside the fact you're feeling queasy, you're feeling maybe a little sick, and now almost feeling that there's this instinctual feeling that something is predatory behind this light. What you see as you rise over the crest of a hill is an indentation about 20 yards across, where all the grass is dead. The ground beneath it is completely blackened, almost as if it's turning into a oily, muddy goop that feels squelchy underfoot. And when you immediately enter this area, you just feel like your prey that's floating in an ocean as a shark is circling, waiting to bite. And at the center of this area, you can see this large, misshapen, almost like the size of a small car, misshapen ball of what looks to be first light. But the more you look at it and try to discern what exactly this thing is, you just get flashes of different images that appear within that area that it occupies. What seem to be planets, perhaps, what seem to be stars, comets passing through space, and other images that just assault your senses and almost burn your eyes. Can you give me a sanity roll, please, for seeing this thing?
$54 is a success.
Right. On a success, it's a D3.
3.
Okay, so a few things then. As you start to feel this realization, this is something that's not got any good intention. This thing is some kind of predator. You start to feel 3 patches on your torso start to itch and start to writhe. And as you put your hand reflexively up, you can feel these kind of welts or some kind of boil that's erupted under your skin. And your cumulative effect for those that 12 that you rolled. Can you cross off 12 sanity and 12 POW, please?
Can I run back to the window?
Yeah, you can certainly run. Does that knock you into? Well, actually, you can give me an int roll to see if you go temporarily insane, at least.
Right. Well, 98. Small blessings.
You don't comprehend the horror, so you're fine for the minute.
I'm too busy just fleeing over the rolling hills.
Mm-hmm.
Probably screaming warnings and imprecations.
And maybe off in the distance, somewhere above you, maybe the flutter of wings that just seem to almost glide overhead. But as you're running back to the building, the theatre, nothing stops you on your way back. Meanwhile, I think that's Riley's opportunity to get back to the building and meet up with Almond and number 5.
You need to stop them. I jump through the window, like half jump, half climb, just crash through. You need to stop the other guy. The other guy went through a window. Stop him. You need to stop him.
Are you like the one where, like, which room are you crashing into?
I'm coming through the library.
So that is the room that me and Almond are in?
Yep.
I'm like, whoa! What's going on?
The good-looking guy has gone through this window to get. Sorry, I caught Thom waving and it threw me off. The good-looking guy has gone through this window and he's gone to some light. It has to be said. It cannot be anything good. And another one of us went through another window somewhere, and no one's stopping him. He is going to die. You need to go get him. I'm going to go get the good-looking guy now, but if we don't stop them, we're going to all die. We're going to be enslaved in the pits of hell for eternity. We need to go now. And then without much else said, I'll dive back through the window and take off towards Thom.
What? So you're indicating we should go after Mac?
Yes, go find Mac.
In that moment where you are confused, going you feel a hand going down towards the pocket where you shoved those sticks of dynamite.
Whose hand?
And
What? Where?
It's kind of connected to Almond's arm as he's evidently trying to pick your pocket and take one of the.
I slap it. I slap your hand. I'm like, what are you
Whoa.
fucking doing?
I don't.
It's my dynamite.
Have you heard of muscle memory?
It's my dynamite. Don't touch it.
Are you sure? You have a lot. We all need to calm down.
Let's go.
How many sticks of dynamite do you have right there?
Enough. Let's go. Let's go find Mac. All right. I guess the crazy Catholic buddy is going after the other one, Joe. I guess I don't know. This is just leave the dynamite to me. All right. I know what I'm doing. I think it's one of the things few things I can remember is I think I know what I'm doing.
I'm just saying, don't hide your light behind a bushel. You've got a gift, and that gift is sticks of dynamite. But yes, please, we should follow where your spirit leads you.
No, we're not trying to go find Mac.
Right, Mac stroke Joe stroke pretty boy. You are wandering outside. Well, wandering. You have got a particular aim in a goal in mind here. No one's stopping you, and you've been out there for a little while.
I'm actually standing still because Buddy told me just to wait for him.
Okay, give me a power roll to see if you can.
Okay. What I'm going to try and do at the same time, 5. It's my pal. It's a pass. It's not a hard.
Okay.
But I am going to, at some point, kind of yell up at the thing in the sky and say, "Excuse me, are you the devil?"
Ooh. I've rolled, because this is opposed to we've done before, also a regular success. So my 100 is going to beat your
60
stats. So you're able to withstand temptation for about 10 seconds before you end up just turning and walking back. But you can still call up to that thing up there.
Yeah.
And you can give me your choice of like persuade or fast talk or even charm.
Well, I'm good looking, so I'll do charm. But I'll make it a 60.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 79, so nothing.
Do you want to burn 19 luck or push it?
I'll push it. Never push it.
Okay. In which case, the negative consequence is this thing will come down, but maybe won't do what you want it to do.
All right. 44. So that's a regular pass.
Okay. In which case, then, yep, you call, as you're walking towards this light, this thing swoops down and it lands coming to a very definitive, almost, if you can remember them, maybe like a superhero stance, drop down into the sand with a plume of sand going off in its wake as it lands. And now that you're seeing it up close and personal, you can give me a sanity roll.
Okay. 74, and my sanity is 60, so it's a fail.
That's a D6.
D6. To see the devil. And I dropped it on the floor. I got a 4.
Okay, the key thing there is you don't go crazy, but you do feel this kind of instinctive shock, and yeah, something's a bit weird wrong with your chest when that happens.
Yeah. I stand there staring at it. If it's not attacking, I'll just slowly back away from it a little bit. It's probably by this time that Riley has jumped back out the window coming towards me.
I think that sounds like a perfect time, really. Yeah, you're backing away as this thing extends its wings, almost as if it's blocking the passage between you and getting to where that light is. And also blissfully helping the others by making sure they can't see the light as they approach.
Right. Cool. So I'm slowly backing away from it, back towards the library window.
Okay. And Almond and number 5, are you following Riley out there?
Oh no, we're going after Mac.
Yep. Okay, so you're running the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Riley, at least outside, sees the devil standing before Joe. You've already made your sanity roll, so you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna swallow my fear and run towards Joe, and we need to get inside now. And half like gracefully grab, half like tug, towards the window as we alight back inside.
I don't know if this is correct, but can I say to Buddy, it's got no face.
The devil shows many faces, sometimes none at all. Let's go.
All right, so he's pulling me back.
Yeah, Buddy and Joe do notice, though, as Buddy says, we need to get you back to the building. The thing nods in agreement.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Right. And you're turning back and heading back towards the building?
Yep, back inside the building.
Yeah.
Okay. At which point, then Almond and number 5 meet David as he's climbing back into the theatre through the window there, looking somewhat maybe sweaty and definitely looking a bit worse for wear.
It's he wants to eat something. He wants to eat our souls.
Are you all right? What happened?
I couldn't find Mac. I didn't find the desert. It's all lovely grass, but the light is wants to eat us. It took, and I have these wounds.
Oh, show me.
Hold up.
Okay.
What does it look like?
Because you've now lost 12 in addition to the 3 that you lost by seeing the thing out in the first place. Your whole torso is covered in these things that writhe and twist and open. So I can't remember what the that horrible phobia name is, but if any of you got that one, like a phobia of seeing lots of holes next to each other, that is tripping like hell right now.
Tryptophobia.
Yes.
I'm like, oh God, oh my Lord, I have one of them too. What? So okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but I feel like maybe I like saw through something, like when I pinched myself and I thought I was on some operating table with these guys operating, and then I saw the 3 holes, but now I have one, but oh God, you have a lot of them. What did you see out there?
Oh no, it's not. It's an alien or a god or something.
All right, let's try to meet up with maybe if we gather up with the others, we could figure this out. But this is some real not cool situation here.
Hey, do you two remember this place? And he's kind of like running his hand over a chair. He was very interested in Mac, but he kind of got distracted. Those hills. I remember those hills. He just is starting to wander off. Yeah. The light fell. It fell that it burned. Mac, I think you had a revelation.
Made a
You've been
discovery.
touched
I've been
by
punctured.
God.
Oh, that's not a god out there. It's not a god you want to know.
Oh,
It's just something hungry.
Oh, all
I
gods
couldn't
are
even-
hungry, Mac. Come on. Let's Yeah, no, it's okay. Let's meet the others, and maybe I'll take a minute and look at your chest while we're going in there. We got anything? I need like a pool cue. Yeah. We'll see how deep you go, Mac.
Hey, when he looks you over, make sure he doesn't try to steal anything.
Yeah, I don't. You're not putting anything inside me, but since all the doors lead to different places, maybe there's a hospital or some place I could wrap this up. I don't want particularly the way the hippies acting. I'm not going to lift my shirt up, but I'm going to slide a hand under my shirt and feel one of them. How does it respond to being touched by my fingertip?
It doesn't immediately respond per se. It's not like it retracts from your touch. It feels odd. It feels moist. It feels warm. And as you glide your fingers over it, you do feel it moving. It's a weird sensation that it doesn't react as you would normally expect some part of your body to react to touch.
So it's like Novocaine after the dentist, except it's moving in addition to being, I don't feel it. Do I feel it as part of my chest?
Oh yeah, you feel it as part of you, definitely, yes.
But I don't have any control over its movements or...
It's completely touch that what you are trying to do to it is not what it's going to react to.
Yeah, I just want to wrap it all up. So let's go back to there were other doors out of the library. Let's try one of the other doors from the library.
Hey, where are you guys at? As we come back through the window.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
There you are. All right.
Jesus. Did you see it?
No, no. The devil showed up, although not Red Devil, he was Black Devil.
What?
And yeah, he showed up and he wasn't hostile, but he doesn't seem to want us to go. He wants us to stay inside. He couldn't tell me because he didn't have a face, but somehow it kind of made sense that he kind of blocked our view of the light, and I don't know why.
It's terrible. It's a terrible light. It's a black light.
I didn't see you out there.
No, I couldn't get to the desert, but I got to the light, and it wanted something. It's a.
Okay, well, Buddy thinks that it's. I'm calling him Buddy now. Buddy thinks that it's the devil.
That's bullshit.
It looked kind of like a gargoyle, though. It was black. It had wings. It had horns. It had a pointy tail.
Joe, how's your
Satan
chest,
circles
Joe?
us.
Well, I mean, I got it scared the shit out of me.
Do you have holes?
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 I don't think
Doesn't
so.
mean your belly button.
I'm an outie anyway. Do I see anything on my chest?
I can't remember if you've lost San or not.
I lost 4 sand.
That's good. Well, yeah, when it landed, yes. When you look down, there are indeed these kind of welt-like openings.
My beautiful body. What the fuck? I've
got 1. You've got 4. He's got like over 10. He's got like a dozen. What the hell's going on here? And I mean, I had this weird vision when I tried to poke myself, where I like saw through my eyelids and I saw people like operating on me on a table, and I was like strapped, and then suddenly I was back here, and I don't know what the fuck's going on, but something's not okay, and this is not a drug trip.
And this shall be the plague with which the Lord will strike all the
God damn it, buddy!
war against Jerusalem.
Well, no,
maybe
maybe
will rot while they are still standing on their feet.
Maybe Buddy's got something.
Their tongues will rot in their mouths.
What?
Buddy's got maybe.
Zechariah 14:12.
What is that?
Scripture. We are in hell.
Our tongues aren't rotting in our mouth. We have holes that shouldn't go that far.
Not yet.
But
how long until that starts happening?
Isn't there supposed to be some sort of judgment before we go to hell?
Yeah, I think. I don't actually remember.
What if this is what's that other thing you call it? Limbop or
limbo? Purgatory?
Limbo, purgatory.
You know, the thing out there that makes the light is not some demon. It's a creature. It's a trap trick thing. It's not in your Bible.
Well, the gargoyle wants us to stay inside.
Well, I want to find an infirmary or a clinic or something.
You want to try another door?
Yeah.
What if
It seems like if you go through a door, it's a different thing on each side.
we blew up the gargoyle?
No.
Ooh.
He wasn't hostile.
He's keeping us from leaving?
No, I think
No,
he's keeping us from going towards that light thing.
The light is a trap.
Yes.
The light.
How do we get out of here?
Of course, Buddy might tell us that he's keeping us from going into the light, which I thought when you die, you go into the light.
No, that's a good point. Is you can
That doesn't have
use
to
your
trick anyone to go
enlightenment
into the light.
there. I really shouldn't keep calling you number 5. Let's call you Wick
Wick!
because of the dynamite. It's like a candle.
Okay.
What are we
Sure.
calling you?
Oh, almond.
He found almond. He got almond
Almond.
juice out of the vending machine.
Yeah.
Do they have anything else?
Oh yeah, they had all kinds of things.
Because
But I like almond joy.
They've got. Don't those have coconut in them?
They've got almonds.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
Who opened the
but
door to this library?
I don't like coconut.
I was going to say, as particularly as Joe is pointed in the direction of the vending machine in the corner, looking at that vending machine, something strikes in your memory that you know that vending machine. You've got the knack by which you can lean up against it when you push certain buttons, and you know instinctively that you can get away without paying, opening this thing without paying anything.
All right, I'm gonna go get some chocolate, but not anything with coconut.
Sorry, did you open this? Did you open the door to this room?
Who, me?
David,
No,
Mac.
Mac did.
Yeah, I
That
opened the
makes
door
sense.
from the church to the library and from the library to the theater.
And
But
I opened the
Joe-
window.
No, but
Joe knows
you.
the
Yes.
vending machine.
Yes, of course. This is a shared collective experience we're having. We're butterflies dreaming in each other's dreams, you understand.
What the
No.
fuck are you talking about?
Butterflies
No.
dreaming that they're humans, but yeah.
Yes.
I have
heard
a
that somewhere.
hypothesis.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, what did you say
rolling
now?
power.
Joe can give me a pal roll.
Oh, got 2 dice. 37, which is almost a hard, but not quite.
Okay. Do you want to make it a hard success?
Oh, I spent luck already. I'll spend the 7 luck.
Okay. Right. You have, first of all, a flash of memory as you go over to the vending machine. And maybe as you're rocking it, as you're pushing it.
Yeah.
The first thing you hear is someone calling your name and basically telling you, "Hey, stop fucking around with that thing, you damn it. Someone from the faculty is going to get onto you if you keep doing that." So what is your name now that you've heard it being called to you?
Kyle. No, Lance.
Okay. And I'm just going to send you a message with other little flashes of memory that you have. Oh, my bad. That's the wrong one. Ignore that.
Okay, I'll ignore it.
I thought I'd selected the right one. Then I was looking at it again and went, no, I pushed the wrong button.
Next room.
The second one.
Okay.
I have a hypothesis,
Uh,
which is a big word for a little boy like me.
Does anybody want chocolate? I know what my name is.
What?
What?
For some reason, the chocolate in the vending machine triggered a memory. My name is Lance.
Lance, revelation through capitalism is no revelation at all.
I also kind of remember. I remember a book. Moving the pages, there were pictures of like apparitions, photographs of people claiming there were apparitions. I remember having a flashlight and
What?
looking around at like an underground like underneath the church, like a crypt. And I remember standing on a stage and with a podium and talking to people. It's like right on the edge of my memory. Like it's just right there. But that's all I get. And I'm named Lance. And I don't know what my last name is. Want any chocolate?
I'm
Yes,
afraid
please.
to eat anything. I don't want it to come out the holes.
Well, you'd
I-
have stomach acid coming out the holes if it went into your stomach, wouldn't
Have
you?
you? I still think you should consider putting something in. Just do we have a tape measure, perhaps?
Wait until you have some holes of your own, and then you can experiment on them. Almond.
Don't fiddle with them. That's how you get in trouble.
I want to go back through the confessional door because I have an idea.
Well, we're in the library, and
Hey.
there's another door here. Let's try this door. I want to find a clinic. I don't feel well.
I think these doors are our doors.
Well, I've never been in these places before.
Oh,
What?
I
Like, Joe
recognize
went
the
through here,
theater, so I'll
and he
go
knows
back
it.
there. Yeah.
And his influence made it his.
What?
I think that Joe knows this room. He knows this vending machine.
No,
I
mean,
opened some doors. Maybe they're mine. I don't know.
but Almond
I-
Joy over there went to the vending machine first, so I didn't even
Not-
see it when we were in here before.
I opened this room.
Yeah, but he opened it with you, didn't he?
Well,
He
he was
was
behind
next to
I
me.
was right behind him.
Yeah. Maybe they respond to.
But
What
I opened the next door
we
to the
are.
theater, and Almond knows the theater, and he wasn't there.
Again, this is
It's
a shared experience. We're all
So
swimming.
Almond, how do you know so much about this? You some kind of spiritualist or hippie or drug addict?
I think Almond was a deadhead. Like, he's old enough.
That could be. That could be.
And
know
you
what that is.
apparently
I don't have as many memories, but
you were on
seem
some
to
kind of lecture
remember.
circuit, apparently. And Lance, nobody's actually named Lance, so maybe you were an actor.
it might have been. Feel like people listen to me. Yeah. And he's kind of wandering back towards the stage area.
Okay.
Buddy's going back into the church. Do we want to
Yeah,
follow him?
I guess.
There's a door right here. Can we try this door,
I have
please?
a real bugbear about this idea, and I want to see if it's right first.
Well, I don't know, Mac. You look like you were injured the worst
Yeah.
by something.
By that light, the thing that makes the light. It's a trick. It can show you anything.
Has Almond Joy opened up a door yet? Why don't you open up the door, Almond Joy?
Sure. He'll just go over and kind of open it.
Right, I'll wait and watch Almond Joy open the door first.
Okay. So I'm frantically trying to type private messages while people are speaking. But
Sorry.
right, if Almond is giving me a door, you can give me a D6.
1.
A 1 again. Right. That then opens up to. This opens up into another room that's a bit like the theatre. But instead of a corridor or rather an aisle that goes between rows of seats, it goes down one side of a room to a massive screen at the far end. And then as you get round the corner of this wall that goes one side, you realize you're in what seems to be a cinema.
Okay.
But again, all the seats are empty.
Oh.
And this does look rather familiar. You get the same feeling here as you felt in the theatre.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been here too. Yeah. He's doing the same like kind of creepy almost caress of the chairs as he's going by. This feels right.
You can give me a power roll, please.
I assume there are no windows in this.
04.
There aren't immediately windows that you can see here, but you can see that back at the far end, back where the projection booth is, there are a series of shuttered windows there that presumably would be other windows that would lead into the projection booth. What did
4 under 80, so that is an extreme.
Ooh.
You remember, you find yourself, or at least a flash of memory, that you find yourself sat. In fact, actually, I'll send these to you as well with that degree of success. Sat in the front row of this theatre, looking up at the screen as you see your name roll by in lights. So, what is your name?
Oh boy, the temptation to. All right, his name is Edmund.
Okay. And also with that degree of success, you have an additional set of flashes of recollection, which I have just PM'd to you. Yeah.
Yes. yes. Oh, I do remember this play. Oh, and he's
What?
just kind of doing this. Yeah,
Do you remember this place?
I remember this place.
What a
Theater?
Yes,
Looks like a theater like any other theater.
This is not just a theater. You could see me up on the screen.
We can see
People-
you now, right in front of us.
People would listen to me. It was wonderful.
You're an actor?
I like to think of myself as a deliverer of truth.
What?
Yeah.
I swear,
So
three-fourths
what's
of the
your-
things that come out of your mouth don't make sense.
What's your name then?
Edmund.
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 You look like an Edmund.
I know,
Edmund.
don't I?
It's acting like a drug-addled actor. An old one.
Were your movies in color or black and white, Edmund?
Oh, I don't think I'm old, but that's pretty old. Well, I think some of them might have been in black and white. I feel like there were some very artistic directions my life took.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No doubt. Were you a married man, Edmund?
Oh. I don't remember. So that's probably a good sign either way.
Do you think you were a serious actor or a comic actor?
Oh, I don't know much about acting, but I think they're all very serious. But this
Do you-
is
Did you
This-
work
this
with
is
any
pr-
great directors?
uh,
Did you
he's
win
like,
any prizes?
It's too much. It's too much. I'm sure I won many prizes, though. I'm not sure, but yes, it's
But maybe
course.
Buddy's right. Maybe you're not remembering your past. Maybe the room just, I mean, it's like Buddy's theory, but the other way around. Maybe you saw a theater and you imagined you were an actor.
But,
the world makes us as much as we make it.
So Lance saw desert, and then out the library window was desert, and in the library was his vending machine. I saw city.
You saw a city?
I saw a city before
What
we
city
were
was
bathed in
it?
hellfire.
Where did you see a city?
I don't know. I saw a city before I was bathed in hellfire and brought to this place. And when I was off trying to find the priest, I found this room with city on the outside of it.
You
What
found a room
city?
too.
I don't remember. It's just it's like there was this blackout with no power anywhere. But I think it's my room. I think I need to go to my room. I'm gonna sort of take off and go through the church and into the confessional and into this
What's he
corridor with all the
talking about?
trophies. And I
We
want
might
to
as well
see.
follow Buddy. I
what
want
the
to see what kind of
trophies say.
city it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going back to the row of trophies, and you
Yes.
start looking amongst them. Give me a PAL roll, please.
23, which is a hard success.
Okay. Well, that also gives you some additional memories with a hard, because this is one of your locations. So you walk along these trophies, looking, your eyes darting across all of the names that are on them, and they're all the same name. They're all your name because these are all the trophies you've won for your athletic accomplishments. So what is your name?
Patrick. My name is Patrick.
There we are. And indeed, this is almost memoryception, given the first one that I've put to you, as you're doing exactly what you're doing now. You're standing admiring the row of trophies that you've won.
He walked into that little box over there. What is that?
I'm going to call out to them. I was right.
Where are
I'm a
you?
champion.
He walked into that box there on the side of the church.
Yeah, where does that lead?
I thought it was just a box.
It leads to my trophies. Come,
What?
look.
Follow him. I want to see the city.
He's got something, obviously. Who?
I'm gonna let Matt go first.
Yeah.
It opens up into this corridor where on one side there are these glass cabinets with rows of trophies all extending down the hallway. And on the opposite side, there are windows that overlook what seem to be some kind of cityscape. You must be several stories up, but you can see there is a what looks like a fire escape railing outside, so you could climb down to the street level if you wanted to open up the window. But yeah, there's this black, seemingly deserted city that just extends off into the distance.
What the hell?
What the fuck are we looking at?
It's the city.
But
Which city?
I don't remember.
it's too dark to read any signs, I assume.
Correct.
I know that these are my trophies. This is my room in purgatory. God is telling me something to do with my trophies, and I need to spend some time in meditation and prayer to figure exactly what he is saying.
So you were a jock, not a preacher.
The Heavenly Father
What name was
directed me to show my excellence through my athletic achievements.
So we're calling you Wick now. You need to open a door and see what there is for you. And Mac, have you seen something that?
No place I've ever been.
Because he's onto something. Buddy's onto something. I mean, Patrick's onto something.
Patrick is indeed onto something. So while they're discussing this between them, and there's a couple of cross conversations, but they're exchanging bits between them. Is Patrick following through what you said? You're going to look in more detail in the room.
I want to really contemplate what my message from above is with this room. Like I see all my old swimming trophies, my water polo trophies, everything, and what could this mean? Like that was years ago now, surely.
Perfect question. Please roll your swim skill.
36, which is a hard.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to spend a point and then it's a hard. But yes, it's a hard regardless.
Yeah, in which case you definitely are very intimately connected with this room. If you were to call this a meaningful location and put this down as a background connection on the back of your character sheet, how would you describe how this room fits in with how it intrinsically links in with your occupation and how you learned this and refined this skill of yours?
I think this is my legacy at my old university. I think it's where I got my opportunity to really pursue the aquatic art form as a serious career. And so now I send all my trophies back to them to display, because they really are the ones that gave me the proper opportunity. They scouted me from my little town, middle of nowhere. God really reached through to their hearts and asked them to give me an opportunity. And when God came knocking, I came through and didn't let him down.
Perfect. Yep, you have one background connection. Did I hear mention that Mac was thinking of going and opening another door?
Yeah, please. I want to map this whole maniac maze out. I begin to think that we're in something like an ant farm, where there are places that look comfortable for us, but we're trapped between panes of glass waiting to be consumed by that thing outside.
Well, from places you've been, you know that there's, back in the church, there are several other doors, presumably in there. There'd be the one that leads to the vestry. There's even the one on the other side of the confessional booth that would be where the priest would be. There's bound to be a door that would lead up to a tower or down to a crypt. There's also the door at the far end of the trophy room that you're in that leads out into the film set. There's bound to be other exits through there. So you've got a couple of different directions you can go in. So where would you like to find a door that goes off from?
I wonder if Patrick left the door to the television set ajar so that I know that that room is there, having never been before.
Yeah, the door hasn't shut.
So I'm gonna go through the film set and look for a door. Well, probably opposite. I feel like if we can go in straight lines, we might be able to keep track a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly go around the back of the stage, as it were, or the back of the set, and there is a door with dressing rooms marked above it, which if you go over and open that, you can give me a D6.
6.
About time. Right. This opens up into what looks to be a hospital. But off ahead of you, you've got not like a corridor, but you've got a walkway that goes between bays in a ward. So you've got curtains either side of you, but leading off immediately in front of you are what seem to be a set of oily footsteps, but the oil is rising into the air almost as if it's defying gravity. And as you watch, you can see these footsteps, as if someone had trodden an oil slick and then was running away, gradually disappearing in front of your eyes.
Guys, there's something in front of us. See, catch up. There's something that left footprints. I'm going to hurry toward that door where the oil tracks are going, but I do want to swish open a curtain as I go through, because I half expect to see Wick in a bed in there.
Like you start thrashing curtains aside. There are empty beds. There's plenty of discarded equipment that's lying motionless, and there's silence beside them. Looks like a fairly standard but empty hospital. It's also, there's a layer of dust over most things here, which is different. That all the other rooms that you've seen have been fairly pristine, but this is dusty and old.
I don't understand. I'm going to run after somebody's left tracks. Somebody was here.
Okay. You get down to the end and they turn off where there's a junction between what looks to be like the ward reception desk, and then it goes off towards a set of double doors that you think would go out further into the hospital. You just barge on through those.
Boom. Yeah.
D6 again, please.
Another 6.
Right. I won't make you roll for that then. You emerge in what looks like a hut. This is a like straw ceiling above you wooden beams keeping it, supporting it. But off ahead of you, you can see a figure running away that's dressed in black with what looks almost like a ragged dog collar around their neck. The guy, however, that's running away from you, definitely male, looks like he's made of rubber. It's like Stretch Armstrong, that he moves in a way that is impossibly wrong. He just turns, and as he runs, you can see everywhere that his foot steps. He leaves behind this oily residue where he's running, and he darts out through what seems to be around the corner inside of this big, almost like tribal African hut. You can give me a sand check, because no one should be able to be moving like they've got rubber bones.
I know 5, so I'm accepting something about the dream nature of this, but I am going to chase him. There's someone else here. He's the tar baby.
Okay, what's everyone else doing at this point?
I'm trying to find a door of my own to open, because I've been encouraged that that's going to be how I'm going to find my name and stuff.
Okay, there's, from where you are, if you were back in the trophy room or even back in the film set, you could even go off the church, or pick one of the locations you've been to that you want to.
Let's go off the film set. Okay.
So you head off to in there, go feel around in the dark, but find there's a door that has an exit above it. Roll me a d6.
3.
Okay, that's good. You certainly don't want a particular number to happen now. Right, that one opens up into what looks like some kind of technical room. There's a series of desks that you can see that are quite large, but also slanted. And on them are large sheets of paper where there's some kind of drawing on them that's... Have you got electrical repair?
Let's say that I do. We'll say that I have. We'll say that I'll have a 50 in electric repair.
Okay, so you're fairly confident at it. Yeah. In which case you don't need to roll it. You have a base instinctive knowledge. This looks like some kind of drafts room where some kind of maybe electrical engineer has been plotting out a fairly complicated series of what look to be schematics or circuit diagrams.
Are there any signatures or anything on the schematics?
And not that you can see, no. But there's plenty of books, reference materials on electrical engineering around here as well. And it looks like some kind of drafts room.
All right. I'll kind of yell back. I'm like, I found a drafts room, but nothing like triggering anything yet. Should I keep going?
I'll walk into the room with Wick and I'll say, "It's time to guide you to your salvation, brother. Let's open another door."
All right. I mean, is there a door, in here?
I'm also just catching up on PMs. I suddenly noticed I had.
Oh.
I will leave the person who sent me the private message. You know who you are. I will leave that to your decision to come up with whichever one you want. Sorry, and your question was?
Is there another door?
Yes, there's always at least one other exit out of here.
All right. Well, I'm going to take my pocket full of dynamite and head to the next door.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
6.
That was one you didn't want to roll.
Ah, shit.
Right. Can you give me a dex roll, please? When you open the door, you open it into oblivion. There is endless void on the other side of that door, which tries to suck you in like a vacuum cleaner.
37, which is a hard. 37 is a regular success on dex.
All right, you were able to basically pull yourself out the way and slam the door shut before you or anyone else gets sucked through it.
What was that?
A door to oblivion? I don't know.
Oblivion.
Let's try a different door. Let's try a different door.
Okay.
Are there any other doors in this room, or would I have to go to a different room?
You would have to go back from here. You could probably go back through the film set.
Sure, I'll go back to the film set again.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, that was not a good set of doors. Let's try this over again. Let's do it take it from the top.
Meanwhile, catching up on what's happening in various other parts, we've got Mac chasing after the figure in front of him. What's Lance doing?
Lance is trying to think introspectively, see if he can come up with anything. He heard what sounded like office, like something about an office when he was near the vending machine. Now that he's had gone into the theater with Edmund, something is rolling around in his mind that he feels like he's right on the verge of understanding. He's going to walk back into the library and find a door and see if there's something beyond it.
Okay, so you're trying to find another way out from the library.
Right.
Okay.
Side door.
Roll me a d6.
A 3.
Okay. That leads into what seemed quite an obvious room with its layout. There's plenty of benches in here. There's plenty of equipment and drills and clamps. It looks like some kind of workshop that you're going to.
Like metalworking, woodworking.
Metal, you think?
Okay, I'll walk into it. I like workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like there's anything being worked on, or is it pretty much cleaned up?
Most of it's cleaned up. There are bits and there's maybe a box full of wires off on one side. There's files. There's various pieces of equipment here. But also looking around it, you don't feel any connection to this room at all.
Yeah. I never minded, getting my car worked on. Wait, I had a car? What kind of car? I can't remember what kind of car.
As you look around and do think, did I have a car? There is a window out here, or in the side, obviously in the side of the wall.
I'll look outside.
Forest that extends off pretty much as far as the eye can see.
Forest. Well, not sure this one's for me. I'll just turn around. I'm now curious. I'm going to go start opening doors. So I'll go to the next door that I find.
Okay, you probably wander back into the church then, because that's going to be where everything.
And I'll yell, workshop.
When you get back into the church, there's a fine layer of dust over everything in there now.
Guys, do you remember this place being dirty?
There's no sign of footprints in the dust. So this is obviously settled here after people have come through, because otherwise there'd be footprints tracked all through the muck.
Yeah, because we started in here.
Yes.
Okay, something weird's going on. I'll walk over to the door going into the sanctuary of the church.
Mm-hmm. Okay, roll me a d6.
Oh, I rolled 2d10. D6. 6.
You give me a dex roll as you open it up into illimitable void that tries to suck you in.
54. I'll have to spend 4 points of luck.
It's 4 points of luck well spent, because there is just oblivion on the other side of that door.
Jesus Christ! And I'll slam the door closed.
I heard that.
And you said it in a church. Hey, appropriate.
There's oblivion outside in the altar of the church.
And Mac at this point can give me a dex roll as you are chasing down this rubbery figure.
You also found a door to oblivion.
I found it.
Regular success on Dex.
Right, you're able to catch up to this figure just as he's getting to what looks to be an open, well, not an open door, a wooden door that you think would connect to the outside of this hut that's been built. And both you and he fall through the door at the same time. Can you give me a D6 roll?
Two.
Okay, that opens up into what looks to be some kind of changing room, like a evidently maybe like a leisure center, perhaps, or some kind of a gymnasium, perhaps.
Lockers and benches.
Yeah, lockers and benches. That is exactly it. As you fall through into the middle of the room, there is an almighty crash from from a window nearby that's up near the ceiling. And this black-skinned gargoyle-like figure descends into the room and leaps, but comes to try and come down towards you and this figure that's writhing on the floor. Can you give me a sanity roll? Because I don't think you've seen this guy yet.
Only dimly above 16. I'm very zen about this. Having
right, you are remarkably keeping your proverbial together, even despite all the holes in you that could easily make it flow out of you. As this thing comes down and grabs this figure that's writhing on the floor next to you and starts to pull him away from you, as also he starts to tear into this figure. The rest of you can all hear now what is evidently screaming as someone is screaming in mortal terror, as it's the guy on the floor that's been ripped apart.
Satan has found someone. I'm
going to run towards the screaming.
Does the rubbery figure with the dog collar how is it responding to this attack?
The rubbery thing on the floor is just panicking wildly. You can give me a psychology roll if you want to put any points in psychology.
I have barely put any points in anything, so I'm delighted to. I've still got a 60 left, so why not? I rolled a 3, so I could have been cheaper.
Hey. No, I will give you on an extreme success. Evidently, this person, even though their body is really out of whack completely, something, maybe it's a glimpse of getting a good look in their eyes, that gives you this knowledge that they have suffered a massive amount of mental trauma. In mechanical terms, this character, this person is indefinitely insane. They have lost a big enough chunk where their mental health has been shot to hell.
Perhaps he's been here a very, very long time.
Maybe, but something he's seen or something that's happened to him has driven him over the brink, and he is writhing around without really too much care to his personal safety. He is running on instinct. But this gargoyle that's leaning over him is ramming its paws into these massive holes that are opening and contracting in his front, and literally tearing him apart from the inside out, taking large handfuls of flesh that start ripping out as it throws them over its shoulders, over its wings, and splatters against the walls, as this large red puddle just continues to extend out from underneath it.
I think I'm going to be backing out of this locker room into the hut, away from this gargoyle. Can I see anything of the world through the crashed window, or is it just dark?
You can see the outline of what looks to be a mountain range.
Jesus. Are there stars above the mountains?
Yes, there are.
Do I recognize any constellations?
My bad, one sec. There are mountains that you can see out of the windows in the hut. In the changing room, that exterior world is a city. You can see the outline of buildings. So exactly the same as back in the trophy room.
Jesus. And I don't recognize any constellations or any building outlines. I don't see the shape of the shard or
You can give me an astronomy roll if you've got astronomy.
Guess who just learned some astronomy at 50? And 49. So it makes up for the previous.
Yeah, you start looking for common reference points, and you see what look like. Well, that looks like the bear. That looks like Hydra. But hang on a minute, you shouldn't be able to see those two constellations at the same time. There's a crown. There's various different astrological, or not astrological, various different constellations that are recognizable, but they shouldn't be in the sky at the same time.
Like this building.
Yeah, it's almost as if someone has just thrown all of them up into the sky as commonly known images. It doesn't correspond to any real world position that you should be in.
I feel a little bit like a sand roll.
I will take one if you want one.
Just seems right. And I would have passed that had I not been outside, but I have failed it.
Okay, I'll take one point from you. At which point you can also feel another small welt erupt on your side.
My back is okay?
At the moment.
Yeah.
You're getting quite a few. They might be spreading around there by now.
Yeah. The figure of the priest like thing. I mean, when the faceless one was tearing them apart through those holes, like, had I seen the holes beforehand, or was it just a dark figure of oily weirdness? Was he all holes? Is that why he could move like that?
Yes, they're all over him to the point where they're running up his neck. They're running around his back. But again, he was clothed. But now that this thing is tearing the clothes off him to get at the interior of him, you can see that he's covered all over in these things.
I'm gonna go into the hut and look around it. I've never been inside a thatch hut before. I'm gonna let the monsters fight. I'm gonna take a little time. Maybe some of the others will come after, given that I called out so long ago. Right.
I am going to need quickly, before we have a short break, because we're about the halfway point. You're in the hut. Wick was heading off the film set and trying another door from there.
Yep.
Where was Patrick?
I'm accompanying Wick because I see it as my divine duty to now assist them in finding their name and their salvation.
Gotcha. So you're with Wick. Where's Edmund?
Temporarily obsessed with himself and heading into the projector room.
Okay, so you're in the cinema. In which case, you can give me a sleight of hand roll for Edmund. And where's Lance?
Lance heard the scream that Mac gave, or the thing. He doesn't know that it's not Mac, and he's running towards where Mac is to
so
assist or help or pull him back.
Gotcha. So you and Mac will both be in the wrong place when this goes off.
Oh shit!
So how does Edmund do on your sleight of hand?
03 under 70. So this makes up for the dynamite mishap.
Instead, when you try to steal dynamite, roll 100. So
I'm lucky I didn't set it off.
Right. You instinctively, as you're looking around this cinema, trying to connect with it, trying to explore it, find yourself finding this is a place that was intrinsically, fundamentally part of you. This was led to the development of your craft, the development of your skill. How would you describe this as a meaningful location for you?
It was growing up a place I always wanted to, and kind of maybe, had a couple movies there, but wasn't satisfying. And when my career fell off for about 30 years, it hurt, but it was the only one that showed my comeback film. So this is kind of like a redemption place.
Nice. And there is potentially the chance you may well find redemption here too. You can add a meaningful location to your background connections. So you also have one background connection. Meanwhile, we'll leave it with Lance and Mac as you are running. You kind of meet in the kind of dividing bit between the hut and the hospital. As the last scream of that figure behind you is uttered, and as it does so, as this priest or missionary figure dies, the walls start caving in here. You start to hear the creaking sound as the walls themselves start to buckle. They also start to drip and melt around you, and there is just illimitable void outside as the whole of your immediate environment starts to collapse. Can I have dex rolls from both of you, followed by sanity rolls?
I got 43 out of 50 on dex.
That's good.
And my sanity roll, I passed. Oh, exactly.
Good.
Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, no, I passed by 4.
Okay, you're fine on that case then. How about Mac?
I have a dex of 40 and I rolled a 91.
Ouch.
But can I grab him?
And
that's
then
what I was coming here for anyway.
And then I failed my sanity.
Okay. How much did Lance pass your dex roll by?
Oh, just a few points.
Yeah, well, I would say you need a hard to be able to get him out of here. It's not you're going to both get out, but it's mechanically how this is going to manifest is that Mac is going to get whacked on the shoulder by a falling beam, what seems to be part of the roof of the hospital, as you're running back frantically towards the film set. So unless you want to spend a bucket load of luck to make it a hard success. This is for Lance, that is, rather. Unless Mac wants to, unless Mac's got 50 odd points of luck to burn it down.
Not left. No.
I do, but I think I'll try to drag him out. I just won't drag him out as quickly or as.
Okay, Mac, then take 1d10 points of damage.
Eesh.
4.
Okay, so not too bad. That could have been a lot worse. That's not half your hit points, is it?
No.
Right, you take a big clobbering over the back and the shoulder as a beam comes down, just as the two of you are able to launch yourselves into the film set, and the door slams shut behind you.
What the hell?
Tell Preacher Patrick that this isn't purgatory, because purgatory doesn't fall apart.
I already saw the void. It was in the church too, but did you scream? The scream was coming from behind you.
I was chasing this rubbery. Somebody was running away. Somebody that wasn't us, and I tried to chase him. He moved wrong, and then this gargoyle crashed in and began tearing him to shreds. That's the screaming. He was being torn apart. You know how I have these holes? He was all holes.
I think I might be figuring something out. Are these rooms for specific people and not necessarily just for us? Because I went into a mechanic's shop. It didn't seem at all familiar. I mean, I knew what it was, but it didn't feel even foggily, and maybe the altar was at one time somebody else's purgatory, and it's done. And that place that you were just in, did it seem familiar?
I haven't seen anything that I know.
It was somebody else's purgatory, and now they're done. And now it's just a void.
Well,
so this place is freaking dangerous, as well as you want to find the right door.
What is the right door?
The one that feels familiar.
And then we go home?
I don't know. Maybe we're already dead. Maybe we have to deal with something. Maybe Patrick and Edmund are onto something.
I thought at least with death came peace.
Well, maybe
Well,
it's
not
all
for-
a test.
On that for this philosophical bombshell, should we take 5 minutes?
Got it.
5 minutes later.
Right, so we have the two of you that have just stumbled back into the film set as Wick and Patrick were opening a door in there to go and see if they could find Wick's past. So whoever's opening the door wants to give me a D6 roll.
Yeah. 3 again?
Okay, I've got to count up how many times this has appeared. Oh, you're fine still. Right, this opens up into, again, quite a distinctive environment. It's some kind of factory floor. You can see there's plenty of presses. There's definitely larger scale equipment. It's like the workshop, but kind of scaled up. So there's plenty of manufacturing equipment here. And again, then there's big, wide windows on either side of the room. And beyond it, there is just forest that extends off in each direction.
Mac, did you recognize this area?
I'm sorry. We just got look at. Give me a minute. I'm gonna see if there's anything to bandage myself with in this hospital room. There was a thing that flew in the window and it tore a man to shreds. And then rooms fell up. There was a hut. There was a. What do you think?
Whoa.
I had to pull him out.
Yeah, you kind of you ejected yourself from the hospital room. The door that leads into the hospital is now slammed shut behind you. Did you want to open it?
No.
Like,
It's
No,
a
it's
void.
got-
I'm sure it's going to be a void.
we've got a factory and there's some forest outside the factory.
Okay, Patrick, I've got a theory. I think
Forest.
Yeah,
I
forest.
was in
What
a
did you see in
forest.
you were in a forest. We
I was in a
found
forest.
Mac's room.
okay. Well,
And the thing fell and the trees was blasted into splinters and I flew through the air.
I think that Patrick, it might be like you say, purgatory, and some of the rooms are designed specifically for the person. And if you get into the wrong room, you are in extreme danger.
I
The
don't
room
think
that
this is
Mac was in
purgatory.
fell apart. There were screams.
There was a
and
man.
We almost got caught.
There was
man?
another person, but he bent in weird ways and he left oily footprints. And I tried to catch him because I thought perhaps he could tell us something he knew. But then the thing with wings came in and began tearing himself out of him through the holes.
I
And
think he was a lost soul, I think. And that room over there is mechanic's shop, which I looked in, but it didn't seem familiar. Anybody mechanic?
I
I
did
don't know.
things with wiring, but not I don't know.
Apparently, I know about electronics.
But I was in
and
a
demolitions.
forest. The last thing I remember was a
Yeah,
forest.
here, come check out the factory. We'll see if you can get to the forest from one of these windows.
But I don't want to go outside anymore. That thing is glowing in the night.
But is it night in the forest in the factory?
You're having a look out through the window.
Yeah.
Give me a spot hidden roll.
So that's a 98. So no matter what I put there, it's gonna be a fail.
You're fine. You don't see anything.
But is it day?
No, it's nighttime.
Oh,
There's
okay.
no day here. There's no sun here. You know, the stars are all wrong. I was
What?
looking at the windows at the stars and
All right, don't start with the astrology stuff.
it's not, no, it's astronomy. You
Wait,
can't have Cassiopeia on the Southern Cross next to each other. It doesn't make any
Right, but-
sense.
but
The
you said
sky
this-
is not real.
You said the stars were all wrong. That's an astrology thing. Like Venus is in retrograde or something. I don't know.
No, he's saying that the sky looks wrong because
It's
the
a
way you
Literally.
Literally.
The map of the celestial sphere isn't right.
But
Just
how
like
would
this
you?
building.
But how would you know that if you don't know where we are?
I think
doesn't-
this is all artificial.
You can't have the Big Dipper and Cygnus like this. It's not, I don't have to know where I am.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to know where you are, but if you're looking into this room, this factory, it does actually seem familiar. You can give me a power roll, please.
Seems familiar to Mac.
Yeah.
Well, how are 3 zeros?
Maybe you don't remember anything about this room after all.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember a forest, that's all. I'm sorry, I'm upset. I just saw somebody be torn to shreds by this thing with black
Wait,
wings.
what?
I told you there was this man and he bent wrong when he ran away from me and he wouldn't answer me. And then this thing crashed in from the wrong sky and tore him to shreds. It had black wings.
It sounds like the devil from outside.
I don't.
And Edmund's gonna wander kind of in. He's obviously been crying, but he's got a big smile on his face. Hey,
Did you bring us some popcorn?
Oh, maybe
something is going to be different when Edmund walks back. So you were in the cinema.
Mhm.
You go through into the library, and the door that would go from the library to the church is closed.
Well, he's gonna open it. He's not thinking that far ahead.
Okay. It opens into the trophy room, which is where previously used to go off the out of the confessional. The church isn't part of the connecting tissue anymore.
Where are we?
You're in the film. You're in the door between the film studio, the film set rather, and the factory.
Okay.
And I think Edmund can kind of see them at that point, right? Because the corridor does connect to the film set.
Yeah, the trophy room is a long corridor that again goes into the film set. So you can visually see them from where you are.
That's interesting. Hey, Mac, come! I could hear you shouting from back there. It's all right. This is heaven.
No, I think this is I think this is the train station between.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
It's all falling apart. We were in. Lance here pulled me out as this wooden hut, a Polynesian something.
No, it makes
began
sense
to collapse on itself, and my arm is half crushed. I don't understand.
Mac, did you say the guy looked like a priest?
He was he was wearing a collar.
Okay, so Roman collar.
Give me an idea roll for anyone that hears that, or even just vague description.
I think I may know what's actually going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a hard.
I don't.
I also got a hard.
Something maybe inside of you, those that get hard or better. Something kind of maybe clicks. Maybe that proverbial light bulb goes off in your mind. Dog collar, church, hospital, and hut. The hospital is the one that throws you for a second. The hut then maybe throws you for a slightly another curveball. What if he wasn't so much of a priest, but what if he was a missionary?
Missionary.
All those three locations would be archetypal to that particular occupation. They would be a missionary that has a religious background. A church would be probably somewhere where they studied. A hospital could be one that they've built and to help establish out there in the wilderness. Could have been even a hut if they were building like a community project. It makes sense between you that there is a connection between that person and those three locations.
So, I mean, imagine for a minute, maybe when you die, you go to a purgatory. Okay, just indulge me. But you end up going to a place that's like familiar to you. Only we're all here together and all of our familiar places are interlocking. And that guy was also here. Maybe he's been here longer. And now that he's dead, really dead or torn up by the devil, all of his places are disintegrating.
They don't need it anymore. He's moved on.
But the church is through that door. It's still
No, it's gone.
What?
it's
The
gone.
church can't be gone. The
Yeah,
church,
the church
the
is
church
gone.
cannot be gone.
Church is
Patrick is
gone.
going to open the door to the
Be
church.
careful. Be careful to open the door.
Oh, the door's still open from when Edmund came through it. Yeah, you go back through the trophy room, and the door that should lead out of the confessional now leads into the library.
Patrick drops to his knees. This is
They're just
is a
books.
test. This is a test. This is a test.
What?
I'm being tormented
Oh,
by
God.
Satan. Satan is outside. I'm being tormented. This cannot be. This
No.
cannot be. No.
We
No.
just got to figure out which rooms are ours.
I think this may be a SAN roll for Patrick. He's having a particularly tough time of this.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, that is a failure.
Yeah, give me a D3.
5, so that is a 3.
Yeah, down your side and maybe one on your chest, you start to feel these openings start to manifest, protruding through your skin, and then with almost like a sickening kind of gulp, it not belches, but definitely you feel the mouth like or sphincter like thing open up on your skin. So lose that many sand.
Devil takes my flesh as he takes my place.
So I think, Edmund, you found your room.
Yeah, and look at yourselves. I can see the winces of pain. I see what you're fighting this. Don't fight it. The angel outside, it looks terrifying, but it's trying to protect us. Mac, that thing would have led you don't even know where. That angel, maybe it's a part of you. It's protecting you.
The man that your angel tore to shreds in front of me was full of these same wounds that we bear.
Oh, that's not
He
good.
didn't pass the test. I want to find my room. The only place I feel even remotely at home is the library.
That
But
is the only place you felt any kind of connection to so far.
there's got to be a door, though, for me.
There's no room here for me. I haven't seen anything that makes any sense. I hear there's a forest. Where's the forest? Oh, that factory room.
You through the window.
Yeah.
The factory.
I'll go.
Lance,
I'll
did you
look
say
at that
there was
factory out the
a
window.
workshop or something?
Yeah, that
What?
one over there is is like
Did you
a
look through
really
the
nice
windows of that one?
mechanic. Oh, forest. Yeah, I saw forest. Quick question for the GM. When we looked at the books in the library, did they seem familiar?
Well, to you they did.
Okay. And when I saw like the author, it was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
if you go back and maybe something is kind of tickling at the back of your mind. Maybe if you go back and explored it a bit more, you might be able to
Okay.
discern something.
Yeah, I might wander back in that direction.
Okay.
Mac, don't go into any crazy, weird rooms that don't seem familiar.
No rooms seem familiar, so what should I do?
Well, keep looking, but be ready to run.
Well, from where you are also, because you're kind of moving around between the factory and the film set, the factory, the outside, that forest, that does look familiar. That does correspond to the last memory that you had. But also there's an open door that goes into the draft room off the film set as well. You can give me a power roll if you look in there.
57 used to be good, but my power was destroyed. So I fail.
Maybe on the tip of your mind that this place may be vaguely familiar, but it's annoyingly just out of reach.
It's not as alien as, say, the hut, but
Mhm.
is there a window? What's the window like in the?
Yeah, there's a shuttered window or blinded window in there. If you pull up the blinds, there is a starry sky outside and a forest that extends off into the distance.
Oh, and it's deciduous. That's closer. There was a fire in the sky when I was in the forest.
You can give me a spot hidden roll if you like.
Regular.
Okay. In which case, off again about 200 yards off to your left, you can see there is indeed a light of what seems to be burning trees off in that direction, and also a rather familiar and now that you realize predatory light of this anglerfish type thing that is trying to lure you out there, but you've already been entranced by it once. You do not feel the same compulsion to go out there again.
No, revolted, but there's a second light.
No, now that you think about it, it's off in exactly the same direction as when you looked out of the window back in the theater.
So is it the firelight is like the anglerfish?
Well, the fire is the corresponding to the burning trees, but this light that's in the middle of it, the light seems to be superimposed in the same direction and the same distance out of the window you're looking at, but it's the same as the other window that you looked at originally.
Yes. Is anybody even nearby? Are they all fellows?
Yeah, Edmund will have followed you in there.
I've started to walk back to the library.
The light imitates things that we know. The light that's waiting outside in the bad place.
Of course, don't you, Mac? You have to understand. It's trying to tempt you away. Your pain is you are not accepting yourself and finding happiness here.
I have moths growing over my body. I'm supposed to accept and be happy with this?
We all bear scars from our, indiscretions.
I am not willing to be punished by your cinema god for whatever it thinks I did wrong. I'm going to find a way out of this hell. That's all.
Well,
sounds like Lance at this point was wandering back towards the library, and you're having a look round. Give me an occult roll.
21 out of 70. So that's a regular. Wait. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
That must be hard, surely, because that's 70 of your occult.
Yes, that's a hard. I could spend 7 points and make it extreme. But
hard's good. Yeah, this is maybe the scene in which, because you had that little flash of memory when you went over to the vending machine earlier, that you saw yourself looking through all these books, that now when you turn around, you were indeed sat over there at that desk reading through all of those books. You can see those books up on the shelf, and alongside them, a book that looks very familiar. In fact, a book you, as a parapsychologist, wrote. So, what is your you've got your name. What is this place in terms of how does this fit into your occupation? How is this related to how you developed your skill? How is it a meaningful location to you?
This is the library at Damascus University. It is desert outside. I gave lectures here and I did my studies in the occult. And I wrote this book. And my last name is Ellis. Isn't that Edmund's last name too?
Coincidence?
Or Weird. I'm going to open the book and look at it.
Yeah, you are familiar intimately with all the details in here. You wrote it.
I'm a ghost hunter or a parapsychologist. I'm going to hold the book in my hands as I'm sort of glancing at it, and I'm going to walk back over to the window and look back out again.
Okay. Yep. There is rolling desert. There is that light off in the distance, which you've already seen it once. You are no longer subjected to its lure.
But I believe that's danger.
Yeah. Now that you look at it again, having a fresh set of eyes on it, yeah, there is indeed some kind of predatory aspect.
I'm going to look in the other direction towards the edge of the world.
Yeah.
And I remember that's the memory that I have, being at the edge of the world, looking over the edge, and I didn't feel frightened. Like, should I have jumped?
There is definitely a comfort there. In fact, it's significantly, infinitely more comfortable in that direction than it is looking towards that light.
I look out, I get onto the windowsill and I look outside. Do I see Sparky, the demon?
He is still spinning up there.
I think I know what to do, but I think that I'm moral enough to tell the others what I think I should do. So I'm going to, with the book in my hand, walk back to where they are to tell them.
I think the first one you would encounter would be Patrick kind of falling to his knees, crying at the loss of his church.
Patrick, stand up, please. I don't think that was your church. I think that was that other guy's church. Your church is through your door, through your trophy room, because I think I know where I'm supposed to go. I think you might need to also go to the edge of the world and jump off. And don't go towards that light.
The satanic light, yes. I think I may know what I need to do as well.
Okay, well, after I tell everybody, I'm going.
I think
so
I
then go past him towards the others.
I still need to find my room or my name. I mean, shit.
When Lance walks past me, I'm gonna open the window and peek my head out and look up into the sky.
Give me a spot hidden roll.
That's regular success.
Okay. You can't see for certain. You think there might be something swirling around up there, but you do notice off in the distance there is in fact a light where you're fairly sure something struck a building and kind of bore a hole straight through it. I believe this is also the first time you've seen that light, yes?
It is.
Yep. Opposed power roll, please.
Regular success.
52 is just a regular for me, so my 100 will beat your humanly
50,
pow.
Yeah.
You feel a compulsion to walk towards that light.
This feels correct.
Hey, so we'll leave you walking towards that for a moment and cut back to the others. Wick in particular is saying you still haven't found your room. Correct. Your dice rolls have not been great for you.
No.
Are you still looking for doors to go through to find?
I think so.
Go? Is Edmund following, or Edmund and Mac following you both, or is Mac whereabouts are you three?
After recognizing the forest, I was going to try to look more closely at the workshop to see if I could glean some meaning in it.
Okay, so you went to the workshop.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will actually pass Lance and Patrick because the workshop is off the library. So
Right.
yeah, you can certainly go in there. Give me a power roll.
If
As you head
he
inside.
walks past me, I'm going to tell him what I told Patrick.
The plan.
Run away from the run away from the light towards the edge and jump off.
Well, I like the first part. I'm not sure, but the second.
It felt right. I'm going to do it. I'll bet my existence on it.
It felt right to go to the light for me, and I was shattered. Good power roll.
Right. You go into the workshop and have a look
Hard,
around, and you actually do something similar to what I believe Wick did, because I think it was Wick who went in here first. That you start looking through these schematics on the drafts table. Not what that's the drafts room, not we're having a look around the workshop tools, and yeah, this place does seem familiar. In fact, so familiar, you find that there's like a hammer and chisel that's in a rack up on the wall, engraved with your initials. And that suddenly has sort of a spark of memory that fires. You remember your initials and you remember your name. So what is it?
David.
That's an easy one to remember. And on that bombshell.
Hey, fellas, I've got a name now. Who's left?
Oh, now I'm the only one that had a goddamn name.
Wick, I'll go with you. I'm David. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, David. I don't know what my name is.
No, yes, but it's better if we go in a group.
David, what? Is it David Ellis?
No, it's David Gasaway.
That's a
very easy one to
name.
remember.
Hey, is that Patrick climbing out a window? Patrick, avoid the temptations.
No, he's going to do what I told him to do. Run away from the light and towards the edge.
He's heading off to the left. The edge of the world is to the
not-
right.
Pat, wrong
No.
way.
It's not a light. It's a trap.
Don't worry. I think I've figured this out. I'll go get him.
Go get him, Ed.
All right.
I'm
All
going to
right.
go
Crawling out the window.
leave, folks. I'm heading towards the edge and jumping off because that's what I think is the right thing to do.
You're the desert guy, right?
I'm the desert. It's Damascus University Library. I've been there. Oh, here's my book I wrote.
Oh,
And I
that's
show
cool.
it to them. And the light is an evil temptation. And the gargoyles are Buddy, I think.
What?
It wasn't the buddy of the guy that he tore to shreds.
He did the wrong thing, whatever he did.
What?
Well,
You have to figure it out for yourself. It'll make sense once it does.
I'm Lance. As long as you're not going toward the light, I'll watch you jump off the edge of the world. But
All right. But
Can I get a name at least before we go jumping off the worst side of the world?
well, I'm
Lance
not going to
Ellis.
jump after him.
Lance Ellis. Oh, you want a name for yourself.
Yeah, I'm saying I would like a name before I'm going to follow you off the end of the earth.
Yeah, we have to check out the
I'm
room
trying to
till we
catch up
find a
here.
name for Wick.
I can
wait.
hang around until you find your name.
I'm going to go find it. You can do it. I'm just saying. I don't expect anybody.
I'll go with you, Wick.
At least have a name.
Gonna find a
Also,
book
Wick,
that
we
says
can see what
Wayne Ick.
happens.
What about Cliff?
We can see what happens when Lance jumps, so that we know whether he's wrong.
Hey, maybe the dynamite has something to do with who you are because it was in your pocket.
But I had bubble gum.
It still is. It just,
Are
like,
you a minor?
Like, it doesn't have my name on it. Like, it's just a bunch of sticks of dynamite. It doesn't.
Are you a Call of Cthulhu archaeologist?
A what now?
You did have a lot of data about that dynamite, though. So maybe you are some kind of.
Think about the dynamite. What
Wait a
does it
minute.
mean to you?
Well, light one off.
All right,
and
let's
see if that jumps.
No, I'm not gonna.
something
All right.
loose.
Wait, I'm gonna look for another door.
There are plenty. You could
Yeah.
the quickest way to get from here would be the back end of the film set.
Sure.
So-
Yeah, back through the back of the film set, going through another door.
Watch out for the void.
Roll a d6, and it'll be really funny if you roll a 6 right now.
It's the mark of the Necronomicon just taunting me every time.
Give me a dex roll then.
All right. That's 74. I think that's a failure. That's a failure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you open the door kind of in frustration and pretty much just step through. There is illimitable void which extends out that tries to suck you in. You end up trying to slam the door behind you. Roll a d10.
Ooh. The 3?
Only 3 points of damage then, as you're able to. You basically get banged. You bang your head on the door frame as you're trying to be sucked in.
What part of watch for the void did you not understand?
How am I supposed to know there can be a void on the other side of the door before I open it?
You peek.
Oh my fucking head.
You've exhausted all the options in the film set, so the next nearest would be, because the one on the other side of the drafts room is also void, so you don't want to do that.
Wait,
there's the door that used to go to the hospital. No one's opened that yet.
what did you remember before we woke up here?
I was on some kind of glacier, and then it cracked.
So you're looking for
cold,
ice
or cold place,
ice.
I haven't seen any glaciers. I've seen cities.
All right,
forests.
You said there was another one. The next door would be.
You go off the factory. That's probably the next safest route.
Sure. Let's go off the factory now.
Right, D6, and I hope you don't get a 6.
All right, I got a 1 this time.
Let's check to see how many of those have been used. Okay, yeah, you're not going to like me. That is also void.
Oh, come on!
Because all of the one rooms are in play.
Oh, okay.
But at this point, I've grabbed a hold of him so that I can pull him if it's a freaking void.
Give me a dex roll with a bonus die.
Oh my god!
If you're prepared for it.
Yeah, that's a success. Wait, no, that's. I'll spend 7 luck so that's a success.
Even with a bonus die. Wow.
Yes.
Ouch.
I'm not having good luck.
Yes, I need to make a note. So 1 and 6 are off the table currently.
Okay, that's 3. My last 3 doors led to void.
It's like that. It's like that old TV show where you pick the door. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
what doors are left?
Maybe only some of us get out. Maybe some of us are trapped.
I don't know. Don't shatter his hope. Let's. Hopefully, we can find whatever glacier he was on.
Instead of the one that you tried to go through a fire exit off the factory, there's another one at the top of a flight of stairs in the factory that goes to what looks to be an office.
Sure. Okay.
Give me a D6.
3.
Check that. Say, give me a dex roll with a bonus die.
I'm holding on too.
Because 3 equates to the draft room, the workshop, and the factory. All of which of those are in play. So
that's a 2. So I'm ready for the Oblivion doors now. I'm just like, oh come on.
Yeah, that's Oblivion. So the only numbers that you've got left by deduction are 2, 4, and 5.
And I can't roll one of them.
Yeah, you haven't had all of the 2 rooms yet, so 2 is definitely fine if you roll it.
Do I even keep opening doors? I feel like they're all into void at this point.
Just roll 5.
Yeah, 5 is the one you want.
All right. I'm gonna give this one. All right, I'm gonna give this one more try, and then we're trying something else.
Lance and I are gonna hold on to you.
Right. We've braced ourselves by the frame of the door. We can't
just peek. Eventually, either you're a sacrifice and we will not be able to take you out. And that's why this is happening. Or we're going to find your place. I had given up hope. And now I know, well, it's a few things.
All right, so now am I going back to the door that was the hospital now, or?
Hey, you can try go through there if you want to.
Sure.
Okay, that instead of opening to the hospital, connects to the changing rooms.
Okay.
But from there, you can find there are obviously
Sure.
ways out to look
Doors.
as though they go out of the changing room into somewhere else in a leisure center. So you can open one of those doors.
We don't
Sure.
even know what your name is yet.
I know. All right, I'll go through one of the changing room doors then.
I'd say if you've got two people holding you, embracing you, don't
7:55 p.m.
need to make a dex roll.
Okay, well, but first, should I roll the d6 or?
Just
Okay.
if you hit 1, 3, or 6 is bad. You need ideally you want a 5.
That's a 4. It's
Okay,
not a 2.
4 is fine because that hasn't we haven't had all of those come up yet. That opens up then into what looks to be an underground crypt that you would normally find under a church. So you can see
Okay.
a large stone sarcophagi type room in here.
That seems familiar to me.
Yes, it does.
I've been in here before.
Yeah, well, sure. Good. Well, I'm glad it's familiar to you. Let's go take a look. What's inside the crypt?
Okay. If you are having a look round, you can all give me a spot hidden roll.
That's a failure no matter what it is.
Dead things.
7.
Hard success.
Oh,
Okay.
a regular success.
Right. Both Lance and David come across something at the same time. Lance, give me 1d10.
I'm looking for my 1d10.
Yeah, it's with
I
your
always
it's with your
forget
it's with your
it's-
yeah.
It's made
2.
of tiger's eye. It's a wonderful dice. Yeah.
Got a 2.
Okay, this is an essential item for your occupation. So, as a parapsychologist, what is your essential item that you find?
I find a crowbar.
Because you've always got to break into those places where you.
So,
perform
yeah,
your,
and sometimes pry things open.
Okay.
And yeah, so
There is indeed a crowbar on the floor that you both come across roughly at the same time. And when Lance picks it up, this feels like a trusty instrument. This feels
this. Yeah, this is my crowbar.
You want to open up? Do you want to open up the sarcophagus?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I would have done, but these are kind of sealed. I think I had to use this to get into the room.
but you also feel that this is an item that you have treasured for a long time.
Yeah.
You can mark this as a treasured possession and get your second background connection on your sheet.
Okay.
And everyone can hear your name being called somewhere in the distance. So
Lance.
you hear the name Lance being called. You're not too sure where, because it's so far away. You're not sure if it's a male or female voice, but it echoes through the crypt. Meanwhile, outside, Patrick is ambling towards the light with Edmund in tow.
Oh. Patrick, slow down a little.
As Edmund is following Patrick, and you haven't seen a light yet, you can give me a luck roll to see if you, because you're going in the same direction, whether you inadvertently see what's ahead.
45 on 45.
Okay, you are lucky enough that you do not see it yet. You are focused on Patrick. So if you get up to Patrick, are you attempting to stop him, or how are you? What are you doing when you get up to him?
Does the hand on the shoulder to brace himself? He's not athletic like Patrick is in any way, shape, or form. Patrick,
What?
don't give in to temptation. Stay with the group. You can find yourself in these rooms.
I have to confront the demon.
The demon's in the sky. Why are you walking away?
I'm walking away.
Yeah, you're walking towards the, and then I think he probably does then look up kind of in the direction.
Yeah, you can give me a power roll as you suddenly realize that you are, in fact, quite a long way away from where you should be.
50 under 80, so just a normal.
Patrick, this is because you are fine. You haven't been caught by its lure at the minute.
Oh, okay, I'm feeling great.
I failed, and badly.
My hard success definitely beats you then. Yeah, I mean, you still feel the urge to carry on towards this light. Nothing bad there at all.
This is my trial by fire. Those unwashed in purgatory must be cleansed before they're eligible to enter heaven. And I'll start like tearing bits of my clothes off as I trudge towards this light, quoting Bible verses. But thanks be to God who in Christ always leads us in triumph as trophies of Christ's victory, and through us spreads and makes evident the fragrance of the knowledge of God everywhere, and just power on through.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Do you mind if I use that? And he's
are you following on behind him then?
Yeah, Patrick, God isn't, and he's trying to be like, no, it's nothing. Like, wow, it is getting really bright in this direction, huh?
Well, it's you are still somewhat distracted because you passed your luck roll. You're focusing on Patrick, but you are now within 100 yards of it. Both roll 1d3 and lose that much power and that much sand.
Okay, I rolled a 2.
So I rolled a 3, so that is a 2 halved then.
Not much power, that much sand. Okay.
Yeah, Patrick isn't so much bothered by this, but Edmund, you feel that this kind of wave of sickness come over you. You are able to turn back if you wish, but Patrick is still marching on forward.
Patrick, no, you gotta. He's getting that like revulsion. Is he feeling that he's gonna try and pull Patrick at this point? He's gonna try and actually, kind of throw him a little bit.
Okay, if you're tempted to throw him or at least drag him away, give me a fighting brawl roll.
All right, I can finally assign some stuff, and he did some stunt time. So he's going to put a 50. I think a 50 is one of them, right? Yes. 47 under 50.
Okay, so admittedly, Patrick won't have so much of a chance to fight back because you are not blinkered, but definitely focused on getting to where this light is calling you to. You can potentially give me a dodge if you want to invest points in it.
I don't really want to.
Okay. In which case, you can also just elect to let him grab you.
I think so. I think Patrick's very go with the energy of the moment at this point. Like, just whatever occurs to him now is just the will of God. Just
right. Edmund can roll me 1d3 plus damage bonus.
Ooh, to hear it. I don't have a damage bonus, but I do 3 damage then.
Oh, okay. Well, you are literally, Patrick is thrown. Maybe you are thrown over your shoulder and there is a definite thud as you hit the deck. But you take the 3 hit points damage, but that also breaks the compulsion. So, yeah, you now feel that kind of wave of sickness clawing into you and realize that part of your essence, your power, your soul has been eroded by the very presence of this thing. This is definitely some predator that's lurking within that light that you feel as if it's just waiting there to slowly erode all of the things around it, you included.
All right. Edmund, you're a good man. God is obviously working through you, and then going off in the different direction. Yeah. I'll of course not leave him behind. I'm gonna help him. But very hurriedly, just let's go.
Never mind.
Are you heading back towards your trophy room, the building there, or are you heading towards the direction of the edge of the world?
I'm heading back towards the trophy room because I still believe I need to confront this demon. That was my goal leaving in the first place. I obviously don't want to drag Edmund into this, so I'll sort of deposit him into the trophy room and then shout at the demon to try and get it to come down.
If you try to convince it to come down, give me a fast talk, persuade, or charm roll.
believe it's going to be a persuade at a 50. Demon, show yourself to me. I rolled a 3. That's an extreme.
There is a flap of wings, and this thing lands on the fire escape right next to you, within arm's reach. Have you made a SAM check for seeing this?
I have, yes.
Personal? Yeah. Okay, you're
When I
fine
was
then.
outside with Lance, I saw it.
Edmund has not. So do you mind if I partake?
You can certainly give me a roll.
Good.
All right, 0.
63
So,
under.
yeah, this thing lands just outside the window, and you can see this faceless thing look in your, or at least turn its faceless head in your general direction before it turns back to Patrick. And yeah, it's there. It seems to be listening to whatever it is you want to say.
Answer me truthfully in the name of God. Are you my tormentor?
It's got no mouth, so it can't speak. So I'm just going to emotional gestures.
Yeah, non-verbal communication. I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Do you know the way out of here? Is the way out of here the edge?
In fact, it not only does it shake its head quite vehemently, it also waves its hands like this. Give me a psychology roll.
There's a regular success.
Something in you is saying that it's not telling you that when it's saying when it's shaking its head, it's not saying no, that's not the way out. It's more almost very worriedly trying to dissuade you from going in that direction. It's not answering your question directly, but it's trying to very vehemently and very passionately discourage you from doing that.
Okay. See, this is a conflicting moment for me because I anticipated this to be a more antagonistic force than it is currently being. It appears to be being quite helpful, which is you're not going anywhere. I'll jump through the window and go tearing after into a direction, shouting for Lance.
Okay, you're gonna run back. Okay,
yeah. You rush. You got a 3 on your interpersonal skill, so it's going to wait around for at least a little while. Meanwhile, say Lance
and David are trying to keep Wick from falling into a hole if he opens up another door.
That's it. Wick can give me a roll.
Yeah, another D6.
Yeah.
All right.
If you'd like, I can put some of my fingers into some of your holes so you don't get sucked away.
Thank you. No, it's a 4 again.
4, that will be... Oh, wow. Okay. This opens up into what seems to be another very academic institution where there are plenty of windows all around this almost semicircular room, where there are rows and rows of chairs set up. This is some kind of lecture hall. So there's a very slight incline goes down to a massive auditorium at the end. The glass windows that look out onto the outside world are desert rolling all across out as far as the eye can see.
Wick, I think I'm fucking your choices up because this.
I know
this is another one of my places.
But what is different here is that all of you, not just Lance, sees that there is a figure stood in the middle of the auditorium looking up in all of your directions. This figure is, you're not too sure if it's male or female. There's a surgical mask going across its face, but you can hear this voice coming from it calling for Lance. And one arm extended, beckoning Lance to come forward.
Do I know you? I'm going to start walking towards it.
Well, you say, do you know it?
It could be like the light. It could be another trick.
Well, I don't feel compelled to go to it, but I feel like there's an answer here about something. A memory?
You can give me a psychology roll.
27. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put points into that.
Good choice.
Yeah,
Maybe drop in your 20s.
I'll put my 50 in there. And I got 27 when I rolled.
Okay, roll me 1d10.
10.
Okay, 10 is someone that you would consider significant in your life, like someone that is so passionately important to you that you could not live without them. Who is that person?
Leo.
Fill out your whole sheet here.
Leo Stark. Leo Stark.
Yeah, you can see in which this figure beckoning, and the other hand comes up and pulls the mask off of its face. And now that you can see the whole face, there is indeed Leo.
I'm going to immediately run forward and throw my arms around him.
We descend into initiative at this point because something else is going to happen as you start to run forwards towards it.
Okay.
The rest of you, as in that room, you're at the epicenter of this. So we'll cut to Patrick and Edmund. You can also do your initiative rounds because you can also act at the same time that shit goes down elsewhere. So my thing, in fact, my cosmic thing, goes on dex of 50. Did anyone go with a dex of 80? Wick's gone very
I guess
far.
I do.
Oh, you went. You took dex 80 then.
Yeah.
Right. You see, coming through, literally exploding through the window, this ball of light that is twisting and turning and writhing, and as it enters the room, it is within 20 feet or 20 yards of all of you. Can everyone give me a sanity roll and then also 1d10 on top of that?
It's a 44, which is just barely a success. And then the
99.
And then a 1.
Oh, okay.
2.
Right.
Sanity roll.
Oh, I thought you said the 99 was for your
sanity.
Right. In which case, for the then 2 for the 1d10. Got it. Right. So we know Lance failed sand. David, pass the sand check. You're muted.
Muted.
Sand success 8 for the 1d10.
Okay. So I'll have to resolve these individually. Lance, you're going to lose 10 points of sand for the fumble on that, and then an additional 2 points of pow and additional 2 points of sand on top of that. So you definitely give me an int roll to see if you go.
I'm sorry, give me that again. I lost 10 sanity.
Yeah, a total of 12 sanity and 2 power.
2 pow. Okay.
And then the int check to see if you go nuts.
96.
Oh, you remain in control of your action.
Oh, that's right. That's good.
Yeah.
I thought, oh shit, I'm really going down the tube.
And it also means you don't attract the attention of the gargoyle as well. And David, you passed the sand roll, so that's a D3 for the sand for that.
Yep.
And then you rolled an 8, was it, for the D10?
That's right.
So that's a total of 11 sand and 8 pow.
I passed. I got a 1.
Okay, so that's 1d3 for Wick.
That's 1, or the 1 thing, because get 2 on the dice, which means 1.
Okay, so that's 2 points of sanity and 1 point of pow.
Okay.
And
you go off the lightest out of all that.
Having taken this further sand hit, I assume I'm going to roll in.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, good. 23.
So that's you
A
understand.
hard success.
Right. You suddenly have this moment of insane insight. On the plus side, you gain 5 points of Cthulhu Mythos, but you finally get an insight into what this thing is. Everything around you is dream. In fact, this is the conglomeration of all of your dreams, that all of you at one time were dreaming when you all saw this thing that is now rolling through the wall, rolling through the window towards you, that fell from the sky, a dream of something unknowable that was dreaming out in the void, that fell to maybe not Earth, but maybe a reflection of Earth that only exists in dreams, and gravitated you towards it like a lodestone, like a magnet, pulling in all your dreams towards it, that you fused together to form this landscape, this dreamscape that it and you are trapped in until you can find a way back to the waking world. How do you wish to flip out?
I have to wake up, and that means I have to do impossible things like jump out a window or stab myself, or like I have to break this illusion that I'm a thing. So if there's a window, if this amphitheater looks down onto something, I might launch myself out.
Okay, so that's your intended action when we get round to your dex order. We're on 80 at the top. So, Wick, all this craziness is going off around you. What's your action at the top of the round?
So, doors.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of other ones that go off the back end of the lecture hall.
I'm gonna try to open one.
Okay, give me a roll. You're doing it without assistance, so
all right, here we
you
go.
don't get a 1, 3, or 6.
It's a 2 this time.
Okay,
I rolled every number except 5.
Yeah. Right, that will lead you out into the one remaining 2 room. So then 2 is off the map. Otherwise, leads you out into a gymnasium.
All right, well, then I stumble into a gymnasium and my turn.
Yeah.
Or at least look into it.
Yep. So that's 80. Anyone on 70?
I have
Okay.
70 dexterity.
Yep. Patrick's up.
So we're not in this amphitheater currently, are we? We're still chasing.
You are a way back.
Yeah.
You can hear, though, because noise echoes around here, especially as this thing, as it's moving around, you hear an almighty crash somewhere off in the distance.
Mhm.
You know it's off in the direction where the other trio went.
All right.
So it depends. Are you going to try and get to them, or go to what is your goal here?
So okay. I'm gonna poke my head out of the window because you said the creature is still there for the minute.
Yes, it is.
I imagine it's quicker than I would be. I'm going to ask it, can you take me to that noise?
It nods and extends something that looks a bit like a paw.
Yep, I'll grab it. I'll signal to Edmund if they want to come with. Jump on.
Okay, I've got to get the dex of the
Exciting.
gargoyle now as well.
Incredibly slow at reaching out, though.
Okay, what dex does Edmund go on?
40.
All right, you will be not quite at the bottom of the round, but the gargoyle is going to hold its action on 70 before it flies away at speed 12, carrying both of you.
Hmm.
So that was 70, 60, 50.
50.
You're up.
I'm running to Leo and throwing my arms around him.
Okay. Give me a dex roll to see if you can. This will be opposed against the thing to see whether it can get in range to do something it's planning on doing to you before you can get to your friend.
I got a 36, which is a regular dex.
I rolled 63, so I fail my dex.
Okay.
You get to Leo.
Leo!
With an almighty hug and embrace, you hear him as you hug him. He's saying, "Come back, take my hand, just wake up!" And there is an almighty flash, and both you and Leo disappear. We'll get back to you in a moment or two. Right, that was 50. At which point the thing rolls into the area, and at this point its target is now gone. So the only one left in the room is David, because Wick decided to go into the gym. So you are definitely out of range. I'm going to try and force my way through David to the waking world. So, because you are the only valid target that it's got left. Force passage. I need an opposed power roll from yourself, please.
Opposed, not what it used to be.
You do, however, get you get one bonus die, I believe, because you have remembered your name, but you have not got any background connections on your sheet as yet.
That's right. However, that bonus die was 00, and so I have a 3.
Okay, that's good. Right. In which case, I need to get an extreme to beat you, and then unless you want to spend 2 luck, then to try and get it down to a crit. I won't be able to spend luck. But
no,
it depends what I roll.
This is a dream.
I rolled 17, which is under my 20 for my extreme. So do you want to spend 2 luck to fend this thing off?
I completely do. It's the only thing you can do when you realize you're in a bad dream, is to will yourself out.
You can, on a success, congratulations, you're still alive. Give me 1d6.
5?
Lose
5.
5.
Sorry, Wick.
Typical. Lose 5 power and 5 san as this thing tries to literally tear the physical being of your soul apart. This thing starts to emerge a series of tendrils of light which start to pour through all of the holes in your being, and they start burning all the way through you, even going down like 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters down deep into you. This thing is trying to literally tear a hole through the fabric of reality through you as a living gateway to get to the waking world. Those little flashes of memory or little flashes of you trying to wake up, your eyes definitely flicker open as you realize you are laying down on some kind of bed in a hospital, surrounded by panicking medical staff who are seeing these tendrils of light rip out of these holes in your flesh. Right, that was 50. 40, anyone?
That was 40.
Oh, 40 rather. So 40 on for David, and I believe Edmund is also on 40 as well.
Yep.
Grab
the angel hand.
Yep, the paw, it grabs you and lifts the 2 of you off into the air, and you will descend into their location next round. And I think that then is the end of that round. So we go back round to Wick at the top of the round. So Wick, you're in a gymnasium. And
yeah. Are there? I guess I'm gonna try and open another door.
Okay, give me a roll.
4 again.
Right.
Gonna exhaust every possibility except for 5.
The dice absolutely hate you.
Yeah.
And also that then is going to be because all of the 4 locations, library, crypt, and lecture hall, are now in play. Give me a dex roll to see if you fail to fall into a limitable void.
Yes, I do. That's a 79. Or I guess I could spend 19 luck to make that a success.
Up to you.
Yeah, sure. So that'll put me down to that'll be putting me down to 28 luck.
Okay. You managed to slam the door shut just in time before you would otherwise fall straight through into oblivion. Give me a luck roll with your reduced luck.
All right. No, that's a 96.
There are no other doors out from here. You would have to go back through the gymnasium and out into the lecture hall again to find another open
That's
door.
where I'm heading.
Okay. So that was 80. 70 is then going to be Patrick and Edmund being dropped into this room with the gargoyle. So you come in through the hole in the window that it's caused barging in. Because you are now coming within its close proximity, give me a D10 each for both of you.
I rolled an 8.
All right, so that's Edmund losing 4 POW and 4 SAN, and Patrick losing 8 POW and 8 SAN. Patrick can give me an intelligence roll.
Is 49 under 50. Are you kidding me? I succeeded. I understand what's going on. Oh boy.
Yeah, at the end you have this moment of insane insight where you realize this is a dream of something that man was not meant to know, made physically manifest, and it is right here trying to tear its way into the waking world, where it will unleash. If it's disintegrating your dreams, what the hell is it going to do to a real existence? How would you like to flip out?
Well, it's at this point that I think Patrick has understood that he's probably not going to survive. And suicide is a sin, and so is taking another person's life. So the only thing he's really got left to do is run and pray.
So you're going to run like hell?
Yes.
Okay, and you are on also Dex 70, aren't you? So
yes, I am.
You are doing your Jesse Owens impression. Edmund's quite far down the order. So next up, I believe, is 50, which is going to be the thing. And valid targets now. We've got Patrick's run out. So we've got Edmund and David who are valid targets. Who has the higher luck?
45 for me.
I'm at 46. Ha ha.
Uh-oh.
Edmund, congratulations! You've just earned yourself an attack. Can I have an opposed power roll from you, please?
Absolutely. 38 is 1 away from a hard, so I'll spend the luck to get there.
Do you want to spend any more than 1?
I would love. You know what? I would love to spend 14 luck. Is what I meant to say to make it extreme.
Do you want to spend any more? Because I rolled a 20, which is dead on my extreme. You would need to get.
I would love to spend even more than that. 13 from 31 is 20, 18. Yes, I would like to roll a 1, please.
Congrats. Right, you were able to withstand this thing as it emerges. This eruption of light pours through it in these tendrils that worm their way into your very flesh, passing through these sphincters that open as they approach. You can roll a d6 and lose that much SAN and that much POW.
You hate to hear it. All right, 2.
Oh, you're getting off lightly, so you're still alive. You still exist. You haven't been obliterated as a living gateway to the waking world. That was on 50. So now the 240s, David and Edmund. Decide who would like to go first between you.
My luck's feeling pretty low, so go for it.
So my plan to throw myself out the window seems less relevant once I had been punctured by the light and it didn't wake me up. And I can't conceive of what's. I guess I'm gonna. There must be a thing I can think of that counters this ball of wrong light. There must be a way I can anti-dream it, right?
You can give me an intelligence roll to see if you have an idea.
That's what I'm reduced to. Regular only.
Okay. you're on the right lines. You need to find a way back to the waking world, but you need to establish a path. You need to establish a connection, and a solid enough connection to be able to get you back there. You saw what happened with Lance, that you saw that progression. He first learned his name. He found a meaningful location to himself, the library. He then found an object which was important to him in the crypt. And then he found some
in here.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to follow in those same footsteps. You need to find that, first of all, you need to lay that same progression. You need to find a location that's important to you. And the only ones that you can think of are the ones that have any kind of remote connection to you, are the ones with the forest outside them. And they're all way back in the network of rooms that you've got. So time to get running.
I've only seen one of them. I don't know, sadly, about most of them. But yes, off I go. I'm going to hair off.
So you leave the lecture hall and run to the crypt. That leaves Edmund in the lecture hall. And in fact, Patrick is running as well. You're running away through the crypt. So it's David and Patrick in the same location. And Wick is in the gym, heading away from Oblivion back there. And Edmund, you're up. And muted.
I'm screaming in pain as this thing's trying to force its way through my chest holes. Is the faceless creature still there?
It is still here. It's already had its action this turn, dropping you in here. So it's not doing anything until next round. But you can see that it is also been affected by the proximity to this thing.
Edmund is awful at running, so he's just kind of blindly trying to swat it, and he's calling out to the angel, take me to the theater, please.
Okay. It will agree with that because it doesn't want you to be eroded. Right.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
In which case we cycle into the next round. So Wick, you're up on 80.
I guess I'm going for another door. Oh, I have to go through the. I have to go through the lecture hall to get to another door.
You go back into the lecture hall, so
right.
You're basically on the back balcony where there are plenty of entrances going off there that would go in, presumably the ways different students would file in. So there is another door that is within reach of you this turn, so you can give me a roll.
I need, if I get anything other than what I need, it's Oblivion.
Yeah, it's you need a 5.
It's a 1 again.
Give me a dex.
I got an 18, so I open it and slam the Oblivion door closed again.
No, you don't.
But now I'm in the lecture hall.
Yep, you are still in the lecture hall, so you would be potentially a target for the thing and its go. On 70, then next, the gargoyle picks up Edmund and flies through the window, leaving you alone in the lecture hall. Then we've got Patrick on 70 as well.
Yeah, so I want to try and find some level of solace. So I'm trying to find a familiar room now. I don't think I was around for either the lockers or the gym. So I'll be heading in the vague direction of the trophies and hoping that I can run into something else that is of note while I'm en route to there.
Well, the next room from the crypt is the changing rooms. So you go there. You can give me a spot hidden roll while when you get in there.
I rolled 95.
There is nothing at all in terms of an item that you find here. So you run in.
I could go down to 1 luck. I could do it.
Is it?
I feel like I'm going to die if I don't. I would like to spend 35 luck to make it into a success.
Right. What? Well, give me a 1d10 roll.
A 1.
Okay, this is an item connected with your highest skill. So with your swim skill, what is the item that you find here that is your treasured possession?
I think it's my lucky pair of Budgie Smugglers Speedos. These ones that I wore underneath all my team ones in water polo. I'd wear them to swim meets, and they carry me to victory many a time.
Gotcha. They are sitting on on one of the benches. Obviously, you haven't passed through here before, so you hadn't noticed them. Maybe the others have passed by and not seen them. But as you grab them, you hear your voice being called from the gymnasium, which is back through the crypt, back through the lecture hall, and off there, because it's one of the rooms that Wick opened the door to.
And I now have 1 luck, so I will be attacked immediately. Brilliant.
Sometimes it works out well, sometimes it works out well, but just not for Wick today. So on 70 as well, the gargoyle is going to pick up Edmund, and you're not resisting, I take it, and whoosh, takes you out of the room and starts taking you back towards the theatre you said you wanted to go to, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that leaves Wick, I believe, is then the only person in there at that point when it gets around to 50. Wick, would you like to give me an opposed power roll, or is it tries to use you as a living gateway to get to the waking world?
That's a 34, which is out of 34 out of now 49. So there's a regular.
Oh, yeah. 53 is also barely a regular from me, but my 100 will then beat the tie. Do you wish to spend luck?
I guess I could spend the 10 luck and go to 18.
Oh, because otherwise it is death if this thing wins, because it will tear you apart or tear you completely asunder.
Yep.
Okay. Roll 1d6 then for your power and sanity loss as it burns through you.
Wait, so this is with the spending the luck, sorry, or
this is being able to survive rather than just die.
Yeah. That's 3.
Okay, so 3 power and 3 san.
All right. Ouch. Okay.
And then we're down to the 40s. Oh no, because you were first in the round, weren't you? You popped in back here. Yeah, we're down to the 40s then. So that'd be David first off, while Edmund is currently in the grip of the gargoyle being flown towards the theatre.
And the rooms have changed since I passed through them. There's no hospital, so I'm
correct.
Sort of blindly, flashing through doors, rejecting things that I know don't have relevance. So it's a question of how long it takes me to get to engineering, which is now next to the television set.
Yeah, that's still there. It's gone from the changing room rather than connecting from the hut to the hospital back to the film set. It goes straight from changing room to film set. So you were in the crypt, so you move from there to the changing room. So you are with Patrick as he finds his goggles, but you keep on running. Swim trunks rather. So yeah, you are running on forward. You can give me a dex check to see if you can get to the next location in time, or within the same round.
Oddly, I made it. 36 is just under.
You are in the film set, so you can see. In fact, there are two doors that lead off. Two of the doors that lead off here. One goes to a drafts room, which now that you're in your blind, panicky state, looks familiar, as well as the factory, which looks vaguely familiar from here.
The drafting tables are going to draw me first.
Okay, so you're heading in that direction when you get round to next turn. And that is because Edmund is stuck with the gargoyle carrying him. So 80 is then top of the next round. So Wick.
I guess, are there any doors left in here?
I will say, well, there's one more.
Yeah, I'm going to try to open that last door and get away from this thing. And I got another 4.
Give me a dex.
That's a 46. That's a regular success.
Okay. Again, you are able to pull the door shut.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you are going frantic now. You're running out of options.
Yep, I am.
Right. And 70 is next. So Gargoyle drops Edmund in the theatre. And Patrick, you hear this voice calling to you from the gym, 2 rooms, 1, 2, 3 rooms back.
Yep.
What do you want to
running
do?
towards the that sound. At this point, I just am holding on to whatever heavenly calling I can think of, because I don't know what else I can do. So I hear my name being called, going. Maybe it's God, maybe it's an angel, maybe it's Satan. At this point, I don't care. I just want to get out of here.
Okay, so you run into the crypt, and then so 70, then 50. Yep, so Pat Edmund is dropped, so 50. We are then going for an opposed power roll against Wick, because you're the only valid target left still here.
Ooh, I got a 51. That's a failure.
I got a hard on 28.
Which means I do not have the luck to make that a success, because I only have 18 luck and I got a 51.
Right, there is an almighty shriek as this thing burns its way through you. Not only do you feel yourself being obliterated, the very boundary that separates this little pocket of dreamlands from the waking world itself is ripped asunder. There is an almighty flash of light, and you are no more as this thing burns its way through into the waking world. And we'll draw a sort of veil over this scene for the minute. As Lance wakes up, you find you suddenly gasp and are finding yourself stood around, or well, not stood. There are figures stood around you that are looking perplexed down at your chest and your bare body that's being exposed, looking in bewilderment as these welts that are all over your body start to shrink, contract, and finally seal up completely. And you are, for all intents and purposes, fine. You're normal.
Is Leo there?
You have a look around you. You seem to be in what could be best described as like an isolation room, but there is a window at one end where you can see a figure resembling Leo, but dressed up completely in PPE because they're worried you've got some kind of infectious disease. That's looking quite worriedly on through the window.
Is there anyone in the room?
Yeah, there's plenty of doctors also again dressed up in PPE.
You have to wake them all up.
What was that? Wake up! What?
Yeah,
You're awake. You're awake, sir. You don't worry. Just calm down.
Not me. There's the others. Edmund and David and Patrick and Wick.
What do you mean? And at that point, you can start hearing the alarms going throughout the hospital. As a couple of isolation rooms down, there is a growing white light that's starting to pour through what was Wick's living body, as the man who was once Wick, as there is just this puddle of flesh that's left on the table, left on the bed, as this thing erupts into the world. Around it, the walls of the isolation bay start to crumble at an atomic level and turn to dust. And slowly everything around starts to completely obliterate, as even down to, I say, a subatomic level, everything is torn asunder. Energy is released as atom is ripped from atom, and just this all-encompassing white light extends and starts to encompass the area. A couple of the medical staff try to rush forward to try and wheel you out, but that light just rushes forward and encompasses you. Those of you that are left in the dreamscape, Patrick, Edmund, and David, can you each, or not each, who is the person with the highest luck?
Not me. One.
I've got 18, but I'm pretty sure.
I still have 46.
Yeah.
Right. In which case, the three of you, as you find yourself in the different locations you're in, like Edmund is in the theatre as it's slowly starting to drip apart and break up so that there is just illimitable void in every direction. Patrick runs back into the crypt as the floor falls out from under him. And David was in the film set rushing towards the drafts room. Edmund looks and looks back towards this gargoyle that looks in the direction of what, unbeknownst to you, is the direction of the drafts room. It flies through one of the walls as it collapses, and you tumble into void as it flies away into the dark. It goes towards David, and you can see this thing rushing out of the blackness ahead of you as there is a crack appearing in the wall. Do you allow it to grab you, or because that's what it seems like it's trying to do? It's kind of flying towards you with its arms out as if it's trying to rugby tackle you.
The faceless thing?
Yep.
I'll open my arms to it.
Okay. This thing grabs you like a rugby tackle round the waist and forces you almost through a far wall, and that just you find yourself completely surrounded in void. Can I have a power check from you?
I assume 74. That wouldn't have been good, even if I had lost POW 6 times. Oh, let's see. Wait a minute. Oh, I can spend luck.
You can indeed. Do you wish to?
I can dream luck. I can dream luck.
Right. In which
I
case,
can dream luck to hard. Why not?
Regular is fine. In which case, Patrick and Edmund unfortunately fall away into oblivion, because once your waking world, once your physical bodies have been completely obliterated, and there is no one left falling away. Once there is no one left to dream, those dreams also die and collapse. But for those that dream and die and are in the dreamlands proper, there is a way to cheat death, and there is a way to carry on dreaming while even your physical body is completely obliterated. David finds himself on the shore of what seems to be some almost Mediterranean style land, that you can see dhows, you can see ships floating out on the sea, and a glorious city spread out before you. And this thing, which maybe when you start to wander the streets of Salafay, you may realize that may learn that it's got a name, that this night gaunt, this servant of Nodens, has dropped you here, as you realize you have been given at least some form of escape. No matter how much you try and wake up, there is no body for you to go back to in the waking world, but you have an existence, indeed, as Riley is eloquently displaying there. That this thing has given you a way out, but it's the only existence you've got. And
even take tips.
Well, maybe
and it'll go on forever, supposedly.
I can try to dream it a rose or something. There might not be any more roses.
Well, you are a normal denizen of the dreamlands. You are not a dreamer per se anymore. But then again, Karan's also died and was able to still construct his city that you find yourself on the outskirts of.
There's a train.
Yeah, indeed. There is the sound of a locomotive going by.
It's time to practice as well.
And I think that's a good point where we can leave it.
Fantastic story.
That was insane. Love that.
And I escaped, awesome. And I still got just obliterated.
Yeah, because that was just a shockingly bad run of rolls for John there. All anyone needed was a single 5, but not a single 5 came up in the whole
so
game.
Would he have found a glacier?
He would have found a series of rooms that would have given an indication to his occupation, because how I've set it up is that you define your skill that you've got at 70% in character generation. That then gives me a list of possible occupations that could have that as an occupation skill. So when John chose demolitions, because I said the only skills that were off the table were Cthulhu mythos, lore, as in lore, like dream lore, right, or Yithian lore, etc., and and there was one other one, but I can't remember. And dreaming as
Yeah,
well.
dreaming.
That's it. That those are off the table. Demolitions is a skill that you could logistically pick. That means that from the options that I had, I pegged you as being a soldier.
Mhm.
So that because they're at least an occupation that could be trained in the use of demolitions and explosive material.
Right.
So you could have wandered into a barracks, a war memorial, or a mess tent. But no 5s came up. So
No. I rolled a 3, a 6, a 6, a 6, a 1, a 3, a 4, a 2, a 4, a 1, a 4, and a 4.
Have you considered that you might be an astronaut?
Shut up.
So is it designed so that once you've hit 3 of your rooms, then you see an entity that pulls you out of the dream?
Well, you have the potential to. Once you hit, the first thing is get your name.
Your name. Second is location, right? The third is a significant item, because you
It-
got all of them. Yeah,
It
Tom.
could be
yeah.
depending
That's
on which
awesome.
you go. Depending on which you go for, it could be a location or it could be an item, depending
okay.
on how you interact with the environment first.
Okay.
But those are the first 3. Is you get those name and those 2 set. Those 2 can happen in any order.
Right.
But then once you've hit those 2, you then hear someone calling your name, which is basically guiding you towards your third location, which is where you can meet your significant person. But once you have got to that point, you've also alerted what I've referred to as the cosmic thing, because I've got a series of options as to what this thing can be, rather than give it a name if you're using a different option for it.
Right.
It's deliberately waiting around because its presence erodes reality. It's waiting for you to be so eroded and so weak that it can use you as a living bridge to get to the waking world. So it doesn't need to attack. It just sits around and waits for you to be driven mad, driven low pow. Just waits for that moment to strike, like a shark circling. It waits for its moment to pounce.
That's awesome.
If it senses someone has got a third connection, it goes, "You're trying to escape. Quick, get you before you can get out." And that triggers the end game.
1. Yeah. Okay.
Very
cool.
good.
And then who was the black gooey guy that got torn to shreds?
The missionary.
He's a missionary. I just refer to him in the text as the doomed dreamer. That there is basically one other dreamer that's in here with you. That this cosmic thing, when it crashed through the dreamlands and then crashed in through the barrier between worlds, it didn't make it all the way to the waking world, but it made it to the nearest dreams that existed nearest to the dreamlands. Because that precipice, from Celophae, from those of you who remember the Lovecraft story, the way that Karan's entered the dreamlands was that he stepped over a precipice. He stepped over the threshold rather than going down the series of steps.
Right.
If you had tried to throw yourself over over that precipice, one of the orders the Night Gaunt has is to stop you from doing that, which is why it was trying to dissuade you. Its orders are, if you try and get over that, kill you. But it's not hostile. It instead would try to dissuade you, or if you were to go leaping over it one at a time, it would swoop down out of the sky, grab you, and basically throw you back onto the land and basically go, "No, don't do that." But I was thinking that was going to be the direction you were going to go when last.
I was.
If you had got this mass exodus planned, there is a chance that some of you could, in fact, escape, because it can't. The Night Gaunt can't catch all of you. It can only catch one of you and throw you back. But the thing will also try to use you as then a living gate to get back to the dreamlands instead. So one of you might end up getting burnt as you try to get back, but instead it ends up going to the waking world and obliterating there.
And it obliterated the whole waking world.
Yeah.
Well, at least a little area of it. In its immediate area, it destroys everything, because it literally erodes everything in its immediate presence. So going through poor Wick and getting back to the same hospital that you were all lying in a coma in.
And we still don't know what Wick's name is.
Rest in peace. He never even got a name. He never even got a name.
Unmarked grave. Actually, you can be interned in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, because no one knew who the hell you were.
Oh, God.
Our players
Oh, man.
included Nathan Decker, John Dos Passos, Riley Kruger, David Gasaway, and myself, with Matthew Sanderson as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. Leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.